Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we would like to honor our 2025-2026 Senior Dragonettes. Please direct your attention to the center of the field as we introduce each senior. First off, our one-year senior and manager, Ansley Darrell, escorted by her parents Ryan and Emily Darrell and sister Megan. Our two-year seniors, JoJo Debussy, escorted by her parents Pierre and Stephanie Debussy and sisters Constance and Emily. Kendall French, escorted by her parents Brian and Nancy French. Our three-year senior, Jolie Kelleher, escorted by her parents Joseph and Janelle Kelleher, her brother Caden and sister Kaylee. Now our social officers. Social officer, Sammy Watson, escorted by her parents Glenn and Nadia Watson. Social officer, Jessica Tan, escorted by her parents Joe and Francisca Tan. Vice President, Madison Lovett, escorted by her parents Amber and Jason Lovett and sister Kinsley. And President Haley Stonestreet, escorted by her parents Tim and Christy Stonestreet and her grandmother Vicki Gould. And our dance officers, Major Abby Hamilton, escorted by her parents Brett and Emily Hamilton, brother Mason, and sisters Kate and Ellie. Lieutenant Colonel Kiana Harting, escorted by her parents Matt and Susie Harding and her sisters Kenzie, Katie, and Keegan. Colonel Molly Firth, escorted by her parents Edward and Summer Firth and sister Addie. Thank you, seniors, for your hard work and dedication to this program. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the Dragonette seniors a huge round of applause.
Welcome to Vandegrift Vipers Football on the Vype Live Network. Presented by our Playmaker sponsors, Independence Title, Wayne Weigelt with State Farm, and Chicken Express at 4 points. Vandegrift Vipers football on Vype Live is also brought to you by our Black Level sponsors, Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and Steiner Ranch Steakhouse. And our White Level sponsors, Amanda Newman Interiors, Austin Dental, Card My Yard, Floor Coverings International, Rudy's Barbecue, Texas Family Physicians, Texas Malibu, and Tiff's Treats. And now, along with Hank Hudson and Matt Sanders, here's the voice of the Vipers, Merle Bertrand.
Well, good evening and welcome to the regular season finale of Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network. My name is Merle Bertrand, coming to you live from Dragon Stadium on the campus of Round Rock High School in Round Rock, Texas, as the Vipers look to clinch at least a share of the district title and lock down a #1 seed in the playoffs against the Round Rock Dragons. I'm joined once again by Hank Hudson and lifetime Viper Matt Sanders. Brian Spiel is down on the sidelines. Christina Weber-Bertrand is our QA, keeping an eye and an ear on the broadcast. And guys, after a huge road win 2 weeks ago against Hutto, the Vipers avoided a letdown last week against Westwood to set the table for their annual slugfest with Round Rock. It always seems to come down to Round Rock.
Yep.
Every year, it's the Vipers in Round Rock.
I love that they put this game at the last slot a lot of the time. So I don't know how they do the schedule or whatever, but I always feel like this last game versus Round Rock is kind of the culmination, everything together at the end of the season.
Right.
It's always these two teams fighting for that district title. So I love to end this regular season off with a game like this.
Well, I'll tell you what, we are immersed in the passion of high school football in Texas yet again, guys, as this is tantamount to a playoff game. I mean, we're talking about playoff level intensity. Expect a lot of big plays, a lot of big time players stepping up. I mean, the plot lines are too thick to mention. I think Matt Sanders, you did a Excel spreadsheet and used your slide rule earlier this week to try and to analyze the various possible scenarios. But I mean, it doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah.
And this game has always got some unbelievable moments. Every year we watch this game. As you said, Matt, it's at the last game, the penultimate matchup, and before you have your first playoff game. Always something exciting going to happen, and it's always extremely physical.
Yeah.
So I am really excited about tonight's game. The Vipers are a little banged up, but I know Coach Sanders will have them ready.
Yeah, we talked about the playoffs. You talked about all the permutations. I'm not going to go into all of it here because hopefully it'll kind of sort itself out as the night wears on. But this is the standings and the situation coming into tonight. You can see Vandegrift in the playoffs for the 13th straight season along with Hutto. That much is certain. The Vipers are tied with Hutto for first, so a win tonight would guarantee at least a share of the district title for a remarkable 8th straight season. If our old friend Coach Hermes and his McNeil Mavericks would do us a solid and knock off Hutto, the Vipers would claim the title outright and would get to host a first-round playoff game either against Westlake or Dripping Springs, depending on what happens in their showdown tonight. Round Rock is in a more precarious situation as they've lost to Hutto by 2 points and lost to Vista Ridge by 1. They're in with a win tonight, but would be scoreboard watching if Vandegrift can pull out the victory. So, as I mentioned, we'll track all the possibilities throughout the night as things kind of come into play. We're doing the Vista Ridge game on Vype. We're doing the Hutto game on Vype against McNeil, all that kind of stuff. So we'll get score updates. I've asked for scoring updates in Dripping Springs against Westlake just to see if we can kind of track that too. It's kind of weird. If you win, your reward is to play one of those two teams.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is just one of those years. I feel like it kind of like alternates what's going on in this district. There's always some sort of drama, who's in, who's out, and this year is probably the closest race we've seen in a long time. We talked about this all throughout the season. So many deserving teams, but there's only 4 spots in a 9-team district, so that means 5 are out. And tonight, a lot of games. There's going to be a lot of coaches I know going to the halftime checking scores of other teams, seeing how likely they are to get into the dance or not. So it's going to be an exciting night of football.
And Hank, we were talking about it a moment ago. All 5 of those teams, including Vandegrift, has got at least one game in that district run that they would dearly love to have back. One that they gave away by 1 or 2 points, made one bad play that cost them a win that they could use right now. So it's all going to come down to this final Friday night of the regular season.
Well, and unfortunately, you can't go back and play them over. And
that's right.
But you're exactly right, Merle Bertrand. There's every one of those teams had a really kind of a bizarre, macabre loss that, unfortunate circumstances. But, hey, you've got to focus on the opponent tonight, and it's all to play for. So I expect to see a game that will be played at a high level, extremely physical, and this is going to be a fun matchup to watch on a Friday night. I mean, it's playoffs a week early.
Well, that sets the table here. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from Vipers head coach Drew Sanders and get his thoughts on Vandegrift's convincing win over Westwood last week, and also get his thoughts on tonight's matchup with the Round Rock Dragons. It always comes down to Round Rock. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
Buy or sell a piece of property, it helps to have a friend in the business. Independence Title will pick up the ball on your transaction and take it right across the goal line. Independence is locally owned right here in Austin with deep roots in the Vandegrift community. Independence is also the Austin Business Journal's #1 title company. Work with the home team at Independence Title. Call 329-5299 or go to independencetitle.com.
Thank you to our sponsor, Wayne Weigelt State Farm Insurance Agency, providing insurance and financial services. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Please visit www.agentwayne.com for all your insurance and financial service needs.
Family time, anytime, always worth every dime. On our way is Chicken E, unbelievable sweet tea. Express tenders, they're the best, not to mention all the rest. Chicken E's the place to go for all of us in the know. Plenty of size to make a meal. Chicken E is for real. Follow me to Chicken E. Gotta have their sweet tea.
If you or your Vandegrift athlete have suffered an orthopedic injury or have joint pain, let Dr. Matthew Crawford and his team at Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine take care of you. Dr. Crawford specializes in diagnosis and treatment of sports-related injuries with an emphasis on injury prevention and conservative treatments. He and his team offer cutting-edge arthroscopic and minimally invasive surgical techniques. Visit them today at austin-orthopedics.com. Let Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine keep you at the top of your game.
And we're pleased to be joined once again in the pregame show by the head coach of the Vandegrift Vipers, Coach Drew Sanders. And first of all, Coach, congratulations on reaching the playoffs for the 13th straight season. Before we talk about last Friday night's game, that's just an impressive statistic at any level of football.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I get a chance to talk a lot at different clinics and stuff, and I think that sustained success has to be one of the most difficult things to do. In a company, you think about all the companies that fallen by the wayside, that you thought they'd always be around. Radio Shack,
right.
We thought that would always be around, and they didn't stick with the times. They didn't figure things out, and so sustained success is so difficult, much more harder than just having a couple of seasons of good, a good run or whatever.
Right.
And so I am very proud of the ability to, for people to look at us on the schedule and go, well, that's going to be a tough team to beat, and they don't know what we have, they don't know what we have coming back or what we'll have. And I feel like that we've gotten Vandegrift to that part where we're going to be a tough out for anybody we play, no matter what. We're always going to be in the mix for playoffs, no matter what. And this year we've had multiple conversations about how it's been just a little bit different with the different things that's been going on, the adversity we've had to deal with, and we are still finding a way to win. So, yeah, I'm very, very proud of that. I'm always proud to be a Viper, but
right.
I'm very proud that our culture is winning out in difficult circumstances.
Well, as Coach Yates himself at the Radio Shack reference, we'll look back on last week's game. The Vipers got that 13th straight playoff appearance in convincing fashion. They dominated a team they should have dominated. Talked about the big win last week, 43-0 over Westwood.
Yeah, first off, to do that with our backup quarterback Lawson Lombard and then Colin Williams also came in. He's off from the JV. Both of those guys did exactly what we asked them to do. Offense had a great plan, and you would never thought that that's what we had on the field. Was a backup. Most people would be like, how did you score, that much with your backup quarterback in, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm just so proud of their plan and then the execution of the plan. Great leadership. It was cool leading up during the week because when you don't have your quarterback, no matter what anybody says, that's a little different than like you missing a defensive end. The quarterback is, the most important position on the football team. And the way the team responded during the week as far as positivity, encouragement, just overall great vibes as we went throughout the week, I mean, I knew we were going to do just fine as the week went on. So really proud of that. That's first. Very proud of special teams. Hit multiple field goals when we needed. I thought that was excellent. When we, you know, sometimes you are going to maybe stall out a little bit as you're trying to figure things out with a new leader in charge. And so that was excellent. Returned a punt for a touchdown, Ontario Jackman. That was really cool. And then we can't shortchange the defense getting a shutout. You know how hard that is.
Right.
And we may have thought that was impossible, you know, beginning game of the season.
Yeah.
So shout out to our defense too.
Well, you know, you mentioned Lawson Lombard, and I thought it was interesting not only the way he responded managing the game, and you touched on it a second ago, how all the guys sort of rallied around him. And that's not just here. We've seen this before. It reminded me when Drew Mestermaker came in a couple of years ago. It kind of speaks to me about the culture that you developed here with Vandegrift.
Yeah, and I think I appreciate those kind of comments, and I do believe that. And I also believe that it was Lawson, too. You know, Lawson is one of the more trusted guys on our team. He does things right. He works really, really hard at trying to be better, and people respond to that. You know, he's one of our leaders of several student groups on our campus, and so yeah, I think it's a combination of many things. But we are very proud to see that performance.
Well, you touched on the defense a moment ago. This young Viper defense absolutely shut down Westwood. They have one of the best running backs in the area. 87 total yards of offense. I think there's 13 yards rushing or something like that, something ridiculous. 2 interceptions in the secondary. This may not be your best defensive unit yet, but do you think it's one of your most improved defensive units throughout the course of the season?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I have to agree with that. Like, there was a time after that first game in the scrimmage where I was like, man, I don't know if I lost my mojo. I'm talking about myself, you know, because I've kind of gotten defenses going for a long time. You know, this is my 20th year as a head coach, and I was a coordinator calling plays a couple of years before that. So I guess it's my 22nd year calling defense for my living, and I feel like I feel like I do a pretty good job at this. And man, there was a couple of times where I had a few doubts, but then you just keep working. And then all of a sudden the kids start responding like we need. They start being taking coaching better and being able to, you know, you remember at the beginning of the year, I was saying, like, I can't even adjust because they can't take the adjustments I need them to make. I know we talked about that after game one. And it wasn't, I didn't know the adjustments. I was like, hey, we need to try to do this, and we weren't able to do that. And now we're able to do that, and you can see the results of that, and you can see the results of as the game gets on, we start to figure people out what they're doing. You can see the positive results there too. So just pleased with them. We're having some sophomores step up. You know, Colt Stevens, multi-interception games in 6A ball is like hard, really hard to do. I don't know. You know, we might have had 3 or 4 over our entire time. And it was hilarious. I don't know if you realize this, but it was back-to-back throws by the quarterback. You know, that's unbelievable.
I think I even said, I hope this kid realizes it's not always as simple.
But, you know, he did such a good job of Colt did such a good job of being where he's supposed to be. Like that always puts you in a chance to make a play. And then he plays really hard. And we have several other guys like that. But the future is very bright for Colt.
Well, last comment about the last Friday night's game. 4th straight game, I noticed that they started well. Came out of the gates just as completely on fire, including 2 of them on the road. What does that also tell you about the growth of this year's team?
Yeah, it tells me a lot. That's very cool that we're doing that. And if any coach, we've asked this question before, like how do you start faster? You know, if any coach tries to tell you they've got that figured out, wait a game, wait to 2 games. That's hard, but I think it bodes well to prep. I think it bodes well to mental attitude of this game's important. And so those 2 things really are started with our mentality throughout the week. Do they take coaching? Are they listening? So, yeah, very, very proud of that.
Vandegrift Vipers head coach Drew Sanders, a guest here on the pregame show. Next up, the regular season finale against Round Rock. Always a grudge match. They recovered from just an awful start for them. Talk about this year's version of the Round Rock Dragons.
Yeah, I think they definitely have recovered. They're playing like normal Round Rock football now. They're winning some big games in district, and McNeil, I think, probably counted them out, and they, you know, reminded them that they are still a very quality program with quality players. They have on offense, they have the normal big offensive line, big quarterback, but they go by their 2 receivers, 2 and 17. Just do a great job defensively. They base out of a 4 down, always have. their head coach was a former player at TCU. So it mimics a lot of those things that TCU did in the heyday under Gary Patterson and all those things. And so very sound defense. They play hard. It is going to be just like a normal old Vandegrift Round Rock game. So buckle up your seatbelts. It's definitely going to be worth the price of admission.
Well, for several years, this was the game for the district title, and indirectly it still kind of is for the Vipers, a lot on the line, but it's in different stakes here for the Dragons this year. Am I right that you're looking at this game from the Vandegrift perspective? This is more of a hostile environment, big road game, preview, test kind of run for the playoffs?
Yeah, that, and we want to win district.
Right.
So, I mean, we can't forget that we set a goal to be a district champ. We win this, we are district champs.
Right.
And so that's very, very important to us. It gets us a home playoff game. And then, you want to be able to go and handle. We've actually, you've seen us handle some road environments well as we've grown, and you saw us early not handle them well, and so it's been nice to see that growth. But there's a lot on the line for us, and it changes our path, playoff wise, all that kind of stuff. So we definitely find this game as important and want to put our best foot forward.
Well, looking forward on Friday night. Any final thoughts there before we let you go?
Now, see you guys at Dragon Stadium.
All right, Vandegrift Vipers head coach Drew Sanders, a guest here on the pregame show. We'll take a break and be right back. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
Viper fans, is your home in need of a refresh? Whether you want a full-service home renovation or it's time to create your dream kitchen or bathroom, A. Newman Interiors has you covered. We will use our preferred pricing with major brands to choose the most perfect furniture and finish selections for any space in your home or office. A. Newman Interiors has proudly served the 4 Points community for over 10 years, and there's no better clients than our Viper fans. Call 626-310-2315 today to schedule your free consultation.
Floor Coverings International in Lakeway makes shopping for your new flooring easy. Floor Coverings International carries a full assortment of flooring to fit the purpose of the room, your lifestyle, and budget. Locally owned by Kevin Temple and family, Floor Coverings International offers free in-home consultation with a design associate. At Floor Coverings International in Lakeway, our goal is making your home flooring project a positive and convenient customer experience. Visit us today in Lakeway or online at lakeway.floorcoveringsinternational.com.
On the field, defense is everything. At Austin Dental Company, we got you protected the same way.
We accept dental insurance, and we also have in-house memberships.
Regular checkup to keep you in the game. Cosmetics and Invisalign.
For championship smiles. Whether it's game day or any day, we got your smile covered.
Dr. Martin Molina and his staff welcome you to Texas Family Physicians at River Place. Texas Family Physicians provides comprehensive family medical care for men, women, and children of all ages. They specialize in adult and pediatric preventative care, hypertension, diabetes, sports medicine, and seasonal allergies, just to name a few. They also offer Impact-certified baseline and post-injury concussion testing and treatment in office. Visit Texas Family Physicians online at texasfp.com. Texas Family Physicians at River Place. texasfp.com.
Now, welcome back to Dragon Stadium in Round Rock. Merle Bertram, Matt Sanders, and Hank Hudson here with you moments before kickoff. Coach Drew Sanders, Vipers interplay at 7-2 overall, 6-1 in District 25-6A after the 43-0 whitewash of Westwood last week. The Round Rock Dragons under head coach Cody Moore bounced back from an 0-3 start and are now 5-4 overall. 5-2 in the district, and guys, up until McNeil upset Vandegrift earlier this year, Round Rock was the only team that had defeated Vandegrift since the Vipers joined this district about 6 or 8 years ago.
Well, and there's been a couple of really tight games in that sequence as well. So, I think all but 2 of the games, which Vandegrift won the blowouts, were settled by one score or less.
Yeah.
And Matt, I remember when you were playing, it was an extremely tight game we played down here, and it was that was an absolute spine-tingling encounter with a lot of physicality. Just a lot of fun to watch that kind of football game. Going into this as a player, Matt, how do you prepare? Is there anything different? I mean, there's some extra adrenaline maybe?
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite games looking back to it as like a high school player, was that game versus Round Rock for the district title, because at that point, I believe, again, it was the last district game. Both of us were undefeated up to that point, and we had kind of shocked everybody by being undefeated at that point because no one expected us to come into the district and do that. And I remember winning that game off like 3 fourth down conversions in a row, and then they basically kind of like ending off touchdown run by one of my buddies, Isaiah Smallwood, and I remember just like everyone dogpiling him in the end zone with like 1 minute left, and games like that just like elevate the stakes. It just rises everything up. There's definitely more adrenaline. You know the stakes as a player. You talk about it all week. A goal as before you come into the season is to win a district title. That's step one as Vandegrift Vipers. That's just instilled in you in the culture and everything that like, hey, first things first, we're going to win this district title. Then we focus on the playoffs after that. So this is the first goal that this team wants to accomplish. So I think that this is just something that you just get ready for, and you're just amped up to play in this game. This is what the whole season has led up to. It's this game. And so you're just ready and juiced as a player for sure, more than just like, I can guarantee you more energy than last week versus Westwood coming to an environment like this tonight.
Well, this is the 8th meeting between these two teams. Vandegrift leads the series 5-2 after last year's 35-6 victory. Tonight also marking our 829th Vipers chaos overall on KMAX Sports and Vype dating back to 2009. As we're standing by for the national anthem, the Dragons have taken the field here. And, 35-6 last year. By this time last year, Vandegrift was an absolute juggernaut. Yep. I mean, they were just rolling. And Round Rock was also pretty darn good. Big question marks on both sides of the field tonight, so a couple of teams kind of still searching for their identity, even though we're in the final week of the regular season.
Yes, and then when you get to the playoffs, well, anything can happen. So, the path whichever path the Vipers get on to go into the playoffs looks to be like a pretty precarious path. But you know what? You play these games. If it's a one-off in the playoffs, you win or go home. You got to take care of business tonight. And as you said, Matt, I mean, the number one priority, if this team wants to take home another one of those golden footballs to put in the trophy case.
Give a shout out to Christina Weber-Bertram, my better half, our QA tonight, keeping an eye and an ear on the broadcast to make sure that we look and sound as good as we possibly can as the color guard making their way out on the field. We're standing by for tonight's national anthem. And we're going to turn it over to our PA for the pregame festivities.
Please place the flag. Please come down the center of the field, being presented by Round Rock High School Marine Corps Junior ROTC Guard. And now to honor our country, the nationally recognized and award-winning Round Rock High School Dragon Choir will sing the Star-Spangled Banner. Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Round Rock High School Student Director Jillian Bensman, our national anthem.
All right, so color guard leaves the field. Nice job by the chorus down there. And I was just talking a moment ago. It was a pretty nice display out there with the flag.
Absolutely. Well done, Junior Marine ROTC, Round Rock High School. Tip of the cap. That was beautiful.
Yeah. Sick giant flag. We got to get one of those at Vandegrift. I don't know.
I know, yeah.
I'm a little jealous of that. That's pretty sick.
That's a nice. All well done.
We are just waiting right now for the
their choir was good too.
Yeah, they were great. The ROTC to clear, and then the captains will commence in the middle, and we'll get this thing rolling.
Yeah,
commence hostilities.
There we go.
Venerable Dragon Stadium here in Round Rock on the campus of Round Rock High School. Those old school facilities, you can see from our angle here, we're not very high up. We're on the top of the bleachers inside the lower level of the press box. So you're going to be up close and personal to the action here tonight.
I really like the stadium for some reason. It's just, I mean, it is old. It is, maybe a bit outdated, but I just think it's a neat little atmosphere right here on the, the campus in the era of mega stadiums that.
And we've seen some hostile crowds here.
Oh, we had definitely seen some hostile crowds.
Yeah, pretty packed house for the Dragons tonight. Almost every seat of the bleachers is filled at this point. We're minutes away from kickoff here, and their campus is huge. Round Rock.
It is.
It is a huge. It's like driving around a college campus. I think this. I don't want to. This might be true. Like, this looks like a bigger campus than the college I went to. Like, there's more buildings than what I had when I went to UMHB. So this is a huge high school. I think almost 4,000 enrolled, right? 3,000 something.
I think it's 3.5.
It is. I got it right here. 3882.
38.
The largest school in the district. Turn my crowd mic down here.
It's like, what is it? I mean, what Vandegrift is in there? What's their enrollment?
25.
Yeah, we're the smallest school. Almost a 900 student disparity between the two. Round Rock, the biggest school in District 25, 6A. Vandegrift, the smallest school.
Well, Merle, they should spot us a field goal because of that enrollment disparity.
I agree.
I mean, that seems only fair.
And to give a shout out to my mom. She was here last week. She left this morning heading back to Illinois, so she's on the train in the Longview area. You remember Longview, Matt?
Yeah.
Speaking of Isaiah Smallwood. Hopefully by the time we get underway here tonight, she'll have turned her entire train car into Viper fans.
Here we go.
Have you seen that former Longview quarterback who's lighting it up for Georgia Tech?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He sent us home when we were playing him in the playoffs.
Sure did. He's one of the best players I've seen play in person. I was pretty blown away by everything he did.
In high school, he was honestly the most accurate quarterback I'd ever seen, where he didn't miss a single throw in terms of just like timing, precision, and he was mobile too. And he, at the point where we played him, he was only a junior or sophomore.
Right.
So yeah, he was just ahead. He was just a freak on the field. So, and we're shaking hands as we're off here to the captains.
Vipers in the road whites tonight with the black numerals and the chrome dome. Round Rock in the all maroon jerseys and pants, white numerals, white trim. Hutto and McNeil are underway. Westwood and Vista Ridge also underway. Manor and Cedar Ridge, the other game tonight in the district. We've got that one for you as well. Cedar Ridge should win that one tonight. They will finish the season if they do it 5-5 and 4-4. And a lot of the seniors are going to be woulda, coulda, shoulda a couple of games.
Yeah. So many games this year that were just decided by one or two plays at the end of the game. Again, this district was so feisty this year. The games are so fun to watch. There's so many times we were kind of getting off our broadcast, game finished up fast. We're like, all right, let's go watch catch the end of the next one, because they all just seem like every week there's some important game down to the wire with this district. So really exciting stuff. Can't believe that we're already at the last week. I mean,
it's crazy.
It's been a crazy wide, but really fast.
Yeah, it just flew by.
So the Vipers will kick off. That's a good sign. I love it when the Viper defense gets the field first. Wiley Olsen with the football on the tee. What a week he had last week.
My goodness. I think he was the first guy in the ice bath on Saturday morning, man.
Leg was on fire.
Yeah.
He was playing like his kicker weapon self.
All right, Vipers will kick off going from left to right. There is a blustery breeze. I can't quite tell which way it's blowing here from the press box. But the ball's in the air. We are underway from Dragon Stadium. The kickoff is going to go 5 yards deep in the end zone. By the way, I watched Wiley Olsen during pregame warm-ups when the guys just kind of milling about the field, calmly drilling about 55-yard field goals, with room to spare.
Yes, well.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, we're going to need them tonight.
Yeah,
I think
this
so.
is one of those games where 3 points could be the deciding factor. So, I mean, it's so people kind of overlook the kicker position a lot, but when you have such a reliable kicker where, like, you kind of get in his range, and you're like, all right, we know we're walking away with 3 here, or that the PATs are always going to hit, those 1 points, again, in these close games really matter. So it is such a nice feeling to have a kicker you can trust going into a game like this.
So Jack Apple leads out the offense. First on 10 from the 25-yard line. First play from scrimmage. And a swing pass on the left side, complete to the 25. Gets the corner turn to the 30, lowers the shoulder, and shoved out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. But good for about an 11-yard pickup to Dylan Yeager, the junior wide receiver.
Yeah, right there for the first play and first down for the Round Rock Dragons offense is
Well, there was a handful of jersey over there. That edge blocker.
Yeah, a lot of those block on the edges get dicey, Hank. It's just kind of early. You're going to kind of figure out how much the refs are going to call it or look for that as the game goes on.
First down 10 from the 35. Apple. Hand off left side. Viper swarming to the football and stack it up. Somehow breaks free, though, at the 40. To the 45, to the 50, to the 45, and finally shoved out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. What a run by the leading running back, Brady Cochran. He's been playing since about 1975, it seems like, and he just refused to go down.
Is he a senior? Maybe he can
He
graduate.
is a senior.
My goodness, but he did a great job there, turning nothing into something, keeping the play alive.
First down, the Viper 37. Swing pass right side, and this time the Vipers blow it up. Oh, but he breaks free again and still gets back near the line of scrimmage. Right now, Vipers not tackling particularly well.
Yeah, just not finishing tackles right now on this first drive. And part of that is kind of like first drive of the game. Sometimes you're just not fully juiced up for whatever reason.
Right.
It's that slow start sometimes you see teams get trapped in. And right now the Vipers, especially on that last play, they just kind of assumed he was down or whatever.
Yeah,
but Cochran does a great job of just keeping your legs turning. As a running back, you bust off so many extra plays, extra yardage, just by not letting those legs die. He does a great job there. Rips off a big run and almost escapes for another big gain right there, but is wrapped up finally by the Viper defense.
Turned into a 2-yard loss, so 2nd and 12 from the Vandegrift 39-yard line. Just underway. Trips here to the near side. April empty back set. Pressure coming. Dumps it off underneath. And caught somehow. Almost intercepted. Good catch.
Number 23 is getting greedy.
Yes, he is.
That's the sophomore Colt Stevens. He had those 2 picks last week, and he had a sight line on that one, but went ahead and made the tackle for good measure.
Yeah, definitely had an opportunity to pick that one off, but he does a great job as a DB to kind of attempt to make a play at the ball, realize he's not getting there, and then still wrap up his wide receiver, bring him to the turf. And that is such a veteran play by a sophomore defensive back that we've seen
isn't it?
Grow so much and improve so much throughout the season. He has become a star on this defense.
Big third down early. 3rd and 11 from the 38. Apple changing up the play. Now drops back under the shotgun. Dropping back, looking. Good protection. Swings it out right side on the edge. Complete to the 40, to the 35, and down to the 34-yard line. Going to set up a 4th down and about 8 as they dump it off underneath. The Viper defense swarming to the football.
We saw some really interesting moves there by the Viper defense as you had Hugo De La Vera Vasquez lined up wide, covering the inside slot receiver, and he made an immediate stab move across the line of scrimmage to try and disrupt that quick screen. Disrupted the timing a bit, allowed some of the Viper tacklers to get over there, and in the big 4th and 8.
4th down, you're in no man's territory, not in field goal range. They're going for it.
4th and 8 from the 35-yard line of Vandegrift. Apple in the shotgun. Yeager comes in motion right to left. The hard snap count. Vipers stay home. Guess he's trying to pick up a cheap 5 yards and make it a little closer. And now we're going to get a timeout.
I think that's a smart play by the Round Rock head coach there, and just kind of deciding, hey, this is a long 4th. Okay, let's go out there. Let's just see if they're going to jump. Vipers, very disciplined. You don't see them jump off sides often.
That's right.
This is a team that is built on limiting their penalties, limiting those small mistakes. And in a game like this, every yard matters. So not jumping off sides there is so huge for the defense. That would have cut it to a 4th and 3, which makes it so much more manageable for an offense. Now it's, again, another 4th and long. And, again, they're out of field goal range. So they have a hard decision here. Like, do they try and have a weird pooch punt, where they try and pin them? Do they go for it?
Well, Apple's good at the pooch punt. He's done a couple of them. He put 2 out of 4 inside the 20-yard line. So if that's what they choose to do, he's perfectly capable of doing it.
I could easily see that happening tonight. Because, again, this is a risky 4th and long to go for early in the game.
Right now, the offense is on the field. 4th and 8 from the 35-yard line. One receiver right, 2 to the near side. They're going to run a play, dropping back. Pressure coming up the middle. Swing out the left side, complete man-on-man, and stacked up, nowhere to go. First man there
3, 4, 5.
was Luke Davis. He stood him up for 8 guys to arrive.
By the time the ball carrier went down, guys, you had 9 Vipers within distance of the ball carrier to tackle him. I mean, that's swarm tackling. That's the Viper defense. Big turnover.
That is what the Viper defense does. And so we've talked about it early in the season. If longtime listeners are listening, remember when we talked about this, and like when we struggled so much against drip, it's because there was no swarm. There was so many Viper jerseys you lost count. And now as we're into the last game of the season, you see that defensive identity finally rise up. And, man, what a stop for the Viper defense. Nice turnover on downs. As Lawson Lombard leads the offense out here.
Yeah, Miles Teodecki out for a second straight week. Lawson Lombard in at quarterback. First down 10 from the Viper 40-yard line, moving from left to right. Lombard, hand off to Moore off right tackle. Breaks a tackle, 45, lowers the shoulder, and dives out to the 48-yard line. Justin Moore on the season, 128 carries, 532 yards. That's 4.2 yards per carry with 10 touchdowns. Lawson Lombard managed the offense last week. Just 3 out of 6, 44 yards for the touchdown. He's just thrown 15 passes on the season. His job is, again, just to manage the offense. Don't do anything dumb. Second down and 2 from the 48-yard line. Hand off to Moore again, and this time Round Rock defense swarms the football, swallows them up, and knocking down Moore for no gain on the play. On the stop was Jason Knoll, the junior linebacker. Third down coming up.
No room to run that time, but on the prior play, guys, I want to give a shout-out to my main man, number 20, Marshall Leinenberger. I don't know if you offensive linemen hand out honorary pancake awards, but number 20 had one for Leinenberger on the Round Rock linebacker there on that prior play.
Love to see the skinny guys getting involved, getting dirty in the blocking game. Big third down here for the Viper offense.
3rd and 3 from the 47. Lombard in the shotgun, trips wide left. And toss sweep underneath, and looks like dives out to the 50-yard line. Going to depend on the spot, but I think Brock Chilton's going to get the first down.
Yeah, they should. I mean, yeah, that's a first down. It would have been a terrible spot if they did not get him that first. His whole body was past the 50-yard line there. So nice first down, and this is what they're going to have to do tonight.
That's right.
Lombard is a capable quarterback of just kind of managing the offense. He's a great leader, but he is, hasn't had a lot of experience throwing downfield. So
that's right.
We need to get creative on offense, create those little trick plays like you just saw there, get the ball to Chilton in creative ways to get this offense moving. And
got
find
another
other
stop
ways
of
to
the
be
play.
Round Rock coach on the field, chewing out his defense. He is not at all happy. Talking about Coach Cody Moore in his 3rd year here.
Burned 2 timeouts quickly.
Yeah, 7:12 to go first quarter, and they've already burned up 2 of them, Hank.
Yes, and I want to put your minds at ease, Matt and Merle, because I initially recorded that play by Brock Chilton for the first down as a run, but I quickly amended myself, and because that is a forward pass.
Scott Schaffner, if you're listening in Cincinnati, your years of lobbying have paid off.
Yes, I've seen the light. Well, hey, great sequence there by the Vipers, guys, and Matt. Offensive line really looked salty early on, and we're establishing a line of scrimmage, moving people off the ball. Round Rock's a good team. This is going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, they are such a huge piece of this offense because if they can protect Lombard tonight and allow these running lanes, it just makes everyone's job so much easier playing with a backup quarterback. So they have a huge job on their shoulder tonight.
Dragon defense is giving up 25 points a game. They are a little vulnerable. Toss sweep left side to Sam Brown, and this time he's going to be swallowed up and shoved backwards. There is Knoll again.
Backed up for a negative play. And again, that's kind of the danger you get with those kind of sweeps, those tosses, where you're looking for those explosive plays in creative ways, right? You're not looking for those downfield shots, but you're looking for those kind of tosses, the sweeps, everything that's unique. But if they don't go well and the defense keys on them, they will lead you to negative plays. So now you find yourself behind the sticks, 2nd and long.
Justin Moore, the running back, lined up here in the near side as a wide receiver with Brown in the backfield. That's actually Chilton in the backfield. He goes in motion left. They're going to dump it off left side to Chilton, and it's going to be dropped immediately. No gain in the play.
Round Rock.
Try to set up a screen, but Round Rock knew exactly what was going on there, and you got a 3rd and long, but great defensive effort by Round Rock. You usually have a guy who's keying on the screen if you've got that package call, so great discipline by Round Rock, 3rd and long.
Yeah, this is where the Vipers will struggle without Teodecki in the lineup. Because as you mentioned, Matt, Lombard, a good quarterback, has the arm strength, just doesn't have a lot of experience throwing downfield. 3rd and 13 from the 47. Draw play. That gets something across the 50 to the 45 to the 40 and inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. A perfectly designed draw play, and Justin Moore will pick up the first down, 15 yards.
You couldn't have called it at a better time. The Dragon defense is pinning their ears back, ready for a big pass play. It's 3rd and long, and the Vipers find them, all the defensive linemen biting upfield. The offensive line does a great job. You're taught on that play to kind of pretend to pass set and swat them upfield to get them even further. They do a great job kind of playing a little pretend there, acting right there, a little acting job, and make a huge gain out of that draw play.
1st and 10 Vipers at the Dragon 38-yard line. Still first quarter, 5:26 to go. Moore again bounces to the left side, and he's going to be stacked up and trying to shove forward. He'll get about 2 yards on the play, 2nd down and 8.
Boy, that last play, Matt, opened up like the Red Sea as your offensive line did an amazing job there. Setting maybe a little hinge step and then forcing the defensive lineman upfield. And, I mean, Merle Bertrand could have run through that hole. I don't think he would have got 15 yards, though.
No, I wouldn't.
I
I'd need an ice bath afterwards.
3 or 4. I think. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
2nd and 8 from the 36-yard line. 2 receivers left, 2 to the near side for Lombard. Moore stays in the backfield. Coming in motion right to left is Weinenberger. Lines up as the up-back. Handoff to Moore off the right side and dives out to the 36, maybe a yard in the play, so it's up at 3rd and 7.
Yeah,
well, this is setting up to be a really fun and entertaining game because, it's going to be time of possession is going to be crucial.
Yep.
And you got to like what's going on right now with this Vipers offense. This is going to be play number 10. You give your defense a little bit of a rest. You get the play count out of whack for either team. I think that's going to be the key to winning the game.
Now they're 3rd and long here. Let's see what the Vipers have. They have to reach in their bag again to convert on this 3rd and long.
Trips here to the near side. Now they flip the formation and put 1 receiver to the near side and 2 wide left. 3rd and 7 from the Dragon 36. Lombard, play action, swing pass left side, complete to Chilton, to the 30, drag Sackles inside the 25-yard line. Always a good move to get it in the hands of number 1.
And Chilton is fired up after that catch. Takes a big hit but hops right up. And great job by Lombard. That pass comes in with precision and timing. That's all you need on those little screen passes. Knows exactly when to throw it, looking for his man. And what a great play design by the Viper offense. Shout out to Coach Woolley and all of his staff for drawing that one up. And another big 3rd down picked up for the Viper offense as they roll, getting closer and closer to this red zone.
I believe that's the 3rd one this drive. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. 2 receivers left. Lombard handoff to Brown. Brown looking for running room. He dives inside the 25 down to about the 23, gain of 2. Brown, the flag carrier tonight.
Great job by the offensive line again on that left side. You got big number 71, Parker Cecil. If it was me, I'd want to run behind that guy.
Sam Brown last week, 13 carries, 106 yards and a touchdown. His 2nd consecutive 100-yard game. 2nd and 8 from the 23-yard line. Inside of 3 minutes to go. Vipers doing a great job keeping Round Rock's offense off the field. Play clock down to 5. 2 backs in the backfield. Chilton goes in motion. They just do get it off. Hand off to Moore. Picks his way inside the 20. Break 3 to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Vandegrift.
Wow, what a great run. What a great run. Beautiful jump cut. Great job on the offensive line. Touchdown, Vipers.
There we go. I mean, offensive line paves dirt right there, makes a huge hole, and let's talk about Moore and his speed right there after the cut. I mean, he has a gear where he just takes the cut and he shifts right back into the fastest gear possible. What a run, and I love the play design. 2 formation shifts can really confuse the defense. Then you send out Chilton on a little swing where you've got the whole defense looking at him because you keep going to him on these big downs, and you just hand it right off to Moore, and the defense is not ready. What a play design and great run by Justin Moore.
Wilde Olsen for the extra point. Lombard the hold. A good snap and hold. Kick is up. And the kick is through the uprights. Wilde Olsen now 28 out of 28 on PATs and 2:38 to go opening quarter. Vipers take their opening drive and march it right down the field after getting the stop on 4th down. If you're the Vipers, that's exactly what you want. Your defense doing their job to get the ball back in your offense. Your offense just burning up a ton of clock and getting the points at the end of it.
Well, that was a workmanlike, methodical, very blue-collar drive. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. You matriculated down the field in 14 plays, gentlemen.
Wow.
14 plays. You go 60 yards, and just a really amazing job. Great variety, and then Justin Moore, what can you say there? I mean, the blocking was great, but he makes a move there. It's just normal humans can't do that kind of thing, and it reminds me of that old saying. I mean, Justin Moore, number 3 for your Vandegrift Vipers, has got more moves than a military family.
There you go. Christina Weber says, "Go Vandy." Georgetown leads Cedar Park 8-0 midway through the first quarter. Cedar Ridge and Maynard tied at 7. Vista Ridge up 3-0 over Westwood in the first quarter.
Hank, and I think you said it. It's so true. This game is going to come down to those time of possessions, those long drives.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what the Vipers did on that last scoring drive.
Olsen's kickoff is going to sail into and out of the end zone. He is such a weapon.
They're just you want to keep this drag an offense off the field as long as possible and just soak up that clock, because this is going to come down to it's going to be a close game. I mean, we already know about both these teams. It's going to be a fight. And if you can just continue to control the clock, have the ball for the majority of the time, you can really just control the outcome of the game better. And so far, the Vipers have done a really great job getting a stop on defense. And, man, that opening drive for the Vipers was a thing of perfection for all the challenges you're facing tonight.
Now the defense back on the field. 1st and 10 Dragons at their own 25-yard line, moving from right to left. Apple, handoff out of the pistol. Notes a play action pass to the right side, incomplete. And the nearest man there was a Viper. That was Luke Davis, another sophomore. Kind of jumped the route. He looked like the wide receiver on that play.
It's another one of those Davis boys, the glass eaters. Your mom's been feeding them broken nails and, broken glass and rusty nails.
There we go.
There we go.
A little bit of milk. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Big one going on, Liberty Hill.
Sour
Liberty
milk.
Hill and Bastrop clashing tonight out of Panther Stadium, just underway. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Apple, handoff up the middle, looking for Ringman right side, and not much running to him. The rugby scrum is going to stack up at about the 27-yard line. That's a lot of humanity in a very small space.
10 Vipers.
What do you see there, 10? Yeah,
10 Vipers on the tackle. The only reason that we didn't get the bone crusher Griffin Gorsbeck over there is because he was all the way on the bottom of the numbers covering a receiver.
And he could have came in there last second, but the play was already kind of over right there. Would have gotten a flag. So
yes,
I feel like
indeed.
he was thinking about it.
Yeah,
he's always hungry for a big hit.
I totally agree. He was stalking.
Big third down here for the Viper defense. 3rd and 8 from the Dragon 27. Trips to the near side. Apple dropping back, looking left, pressure coming up the middle, pass over the center of the field, overshot, intercepted, picked off by Tobias Gray at the 50 and drugged down at the 49-yard line. That ball just sailed, and Tobias Gray fielded it like a punt.
Boy, what a great play by Tobias Gray. He's in the right place at the right time. You got great pressure from the outside. Thomas Foote's coming up in the middle on a blitz. Quarterback had to rush the throw just a bit, and Tobias Gray is right where he's supposed to be, over the top of that route. Looks like they were going to cover 2 there. And Matt Sanders, that's a big turnover early in this game, and now you're set up with excellent field position on the 49-yard line.
Well, Tobias Gray, the senior, tired of hearing us talking about all the super sophomores. He wanted to notch one for his senior classmates. 1st down, Vipers at the 49-yard line of Round Rock. 1:43 to go, opening quarter, 7-0 Vandegrift, looking for more.
Starting this drive right past the 50, great field position. And again, field position matters so much in a game like tonight. You're missing your starting quarterback, and when you already get to start past the 50, it just increases your chance of scoring tremendously. So the Vipers are so, this offense is giddy right now to get this drive going past 50.
So Lombard in the shotgun, one receiver here to the near side. It is Chilton, double tight inside on the left. Handoff up the middle, Moore, breaking tackles again. I tell you what, for a guy who's not very big, he sure delivers a lot of punishment. 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, you're right, Merle. I mean, he's got great timing, and that's a big part of being a high-impact guy when you arrive on the scene of the crime. And he's just got really good time. He's got fluid hips, bend and burst. I mean, what a player. He's having a great season. I'm glad he's healthy. The offensive line looks like they're steamrolling.
Yeah.
2nd and 5 from the Dragon 44. One receiver here to the near side for Lombard. And up to Moore again. Good patience this time, but it's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage and knocked backwards to set up a 3rd and 5. No gain in the play. First man there, number 20 for the Dragons. That's Jack Winsing, a senior linebacker.
Yeah, you're going to see this defense continue to they're going to play really close to the line of scrimmage tonight. They know what the Vipers' plan is. It's going to be a run-first offense tonight.
Yeah.
This is what they went to last week as well. And it is going to be tough sledding all night just because of how many defenders they're packing into this box.
Right.
The Vipers have done a great job so far fighting against that, but
3rd and 6 from the Round Rock 45-yard line.
An uphill battle.
Chilton in the backfield, trips here to the near side. Lombard dropping back, looking. Pass, dumps it off underneath, and a slide end up incomplete. Threw it just a little bit too low as Lombard took a shot, trying to get it to Thomas Beekler, but the pass a little off the mark. Sets up a 4th down, stops the clock with 15 ticks left in the opening quarter.
Had some pressure there and had to throw it off his back foot. He was backpedaling as he released. Didn't probably get his feet set like he wanted, but Vipers are going to probably quick kick here, don't you think?
The offense is out there. I would expect some sort of pooch.
4th and 5, trying to get him to jump, but Round Rock showing good discipline here. Got 20 seconds on the play clock. 4th and 5 from the 45. Now he drops back in the pooch punt formation. And that one's going to land at the 15. Ooh, it took a nasty bounce. 3 white shirts on there, but that thing did not take the nice high hop that he wanted it to. It instead hustled it into the end zone, and Round Rock will take over with 9 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Yeah, right there. Man, it looked like such a great pooch punt. It landed right where you want to, and it just landed right on the tip of the football, and it just accelerated after that. No one could catch that one, so the Dragons set up right at the 20, and so it's kind of a net about a 30-yard change of position, which is in this game, I feel like that's pretty big.
That's not bad.
Significant, and you definitely don't want to give the Dragons the ball what you just got on the other side of the 50. So I like the call to just pooch it away. Unfortunately, they were not able to pin him inside their own 10, though.
So first down, Round Rock at the 20. 9 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Apple, high snap, hand up to the running back. He's going to be wrapped up and knocked down immediately.
Guess who?
LeVar Vasquez.
Guess who? It's that main man, number 9. He's been doing it all year, and just what an amazing explosive player is. I mean, the unbelievable balance and the combination of that and the strength, Matt Sanders, just makes him a formidable opponent for anybody. And we've seen him beat double teams. We've seen him go around. We've seen him go under. We've seen him go through players to make tackles, and there he is again for another tackle for loss.
And we've reached the end of quarter number 1. 7-0 Vipers on top. We'll take a break. Be back for quarter number 2. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
Texas Malibu is your exclusive dealer for the world's best-selling water sports towboats. Malibu. We are now the largest dealer for Malibu boats worldwide with locations in Austin, Marble Falls, Texas Ski Ranch in New Braunfels, and now Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Visit the enthusiasts at any of our locations or online at texasmalibu.com to pick out your family's dream boat and make memories on the water that will last a lifetime.
All right, Vandy fans, it's quiz time with Tiff's Treats. Question: how many wins did the Vipers rack up last season? 13? 14? 15? If you answered 15, congrats, you're a true Vandy Viper fanatic. And to celebrate our 6A Division II state champion Vipers and the greatness of the 2025 season, we're giving you 15% off your next order of Tiff's Treats warm cookies. Just use...
And we're going to come out of it early as they're back to the action. 2nd down and 9. Handoff. No, play up. He's fast. Out complete to the left side up to the 35-yard line. They get it out to Daniel Berry. And Round Rock with the completion. First down, Dragons.
Explosive play there. Great toss by the, is he a senior also? Thank goodness. Number 12, Jack Apple, found that little piece of real estate, Matt Sanders, right between the cornerback and the safety, because you did have a guy on top.
1st and 10, Dragons at their own 36-yard line after the first down. Apple in the shotgun. 3-man front for the Vipers. Coming in motion right to left, Carson Griffin. And the handoff around the left side, and he's going to get up to the 40, breaks a couple of tackles, and lunges forward to the 45. Good second effort to pick up 8 yards.
Tough running there. And the Round Rock Dragons comes out of the quarter break, and they look a 2 kind of big plays, get their offense jumping. You see the kind of breath bring back into this offense. And right there, we talk about the explosive play. The first play that broke it open was just a really nicely timed pass where they found a hole in that defensive zone right between the corner and safety. And tough running, which is what this offense is kind of built on. These running backs have not gone down tonight easy.
Brady Cochran remains in the backfield for Apple. 2nd down and 2 from the 44. Now he goes in motion and moving on the line. That'll help.
Well, we had some snap count confusion, so it'll be -5 for the Round Rock Dragons.
Is number 12 Stickler, or is it Apple? Or
Apple.
Oh, it is. It is Duff Stickler in a quarterback.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was checking their stats. They both have playing
time
this year. So that's why I was a little confused. So it's been
5.
Stickler tonight.
Instead of Apple. You're right.
You are right.
I had them flipped in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm glad you caught that.
As much as it pains me to say it, Matt Sanders, you are correct.
So Dove Stickler dropping back, looking, pumping, pass, left side, complete up to the 40. And going to be stacked up at about the 41-yard line before being shoved back. That'll set up a 3rd down and long.
Man, met with a wall of Vipers, allowing not much of a gain there. I believe he got about a yard. Now it's 3rd and about 5 here, which, again, 3rd and 5 is a little bit dicey for an offense.
Right.
You It's not a third and long quite exactly, but it's not a third and short. So you're right there in between. Great opportunity for the Viper defense to get a nice stop here and get the ball back to this offense.
Dove Stickler on the season, 66 of 84 for 1,085 yards, 9 touchdowns, and an interception. So he can move this offense. 3rd and 5 from the 41-yard line. Play action pass here. Setting up a screen pass. Batted up in the air. Ooh. And incomplete. Almost intercepted.
Ooh. Number
Boy,
39.
a lot of guys had a shot at that one.
Yeah, I think our good friend and colleague, number 39, Luke Davis, had a beat on that ball. He almost reeled it in, but great defense on a screen pass there. We saw Brown Rock do a good job defending the screen pass. That time, the Vipers
with Viper D was ready for it. Usually the Viper D is so kind of aggressive in the pass rush. They get got on those screens a lot. There's kind of a defensive identity. They're very aggressive with their blitzes, but right there, so keyed in. Really nice play. And you can hear the whole crowd on this side gasp as the ball almost landed in the midst of a Viper defender.
Boy, Vipers bringing the pressure. Picked up nicely by the Dragon. Chilton retreating. And fair catch called for and made at the 16-yard line with 9:36 to go first half. Pete Venuta writes in, says, shout out and good luck to Jake Venuta, number 19 defensive line, and the rest of the Viper Nation. From his grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins, all rooting for a victory tonight. And they thank us for the ESPN quality broadcast and an expert commentary. So clearly they're watching somebody else's broadcast.
Well,
thank you, Pete.
It's the Merle Bertrand show. Wherever they're listening, Merle, you're in charge of the broadcast. I mean,
hey, Matt just bailed me out by figuring out who the quarterback was.
I was a little confused too because I was like, they both had stats for the year, so I was like,
right?
Hey, you might know better than me, Merle, but I just thought I'd speak up.
I just can't read. Hand off to Chilton around the right side. Gets the corner turn almost to the 15. And actually, Round Rock strings that out, and it's going to be a yard loss in the play.
Great perimeter defense there. This Round Rock team, it's always really tough to get to the edge against them. They got great speed, got good size on the end. And, that time we negated any kind of upfield movement by their defensive line, but they just did a good job filling on the outside.
Again, that's the risk of those kind of plays to get the edge. Sometimes you just run out of real estate there and just get met with the sideline before you can gain any yards.
2nd down and 11 from the 16-yard line. Handoff. Moore trying to get the corner turn. He knifes it up at the 20 and knocked out at about the 23-yard line. Pretty good pickup there. Makes it a manageable 3rd and 4.
Interesting there. You're on the right hash, Matt Sanders, and you the Round Rock front four that time did a stem shift to the left, to the away from the wide side of the field, and the Vipers run right into that open area.
And Moore, he's so quick. Does a great job of just getting to the edge there and outrunning and really taking advantage of that unbalanced look from the Round Rock Dragon defense, and makes this a very manageable 3rd down for the Viper offense.
3rd down, let's call it 3 from the 24-yard line. Hand off to Moore again, and he is trying to get free, but he can't. It's going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage for no gain, and that'll bring up a 4th down, and the Viper punting unit will come on.
Yeah, got to punt it here. You're backed up in your own territory, and this is kind of what it's going to be tonight. It's going to be a defensive battle.
Yep.
I'm based off what we've seen so far, it's going to be kind of lower scoring game. So time of possession, field position, all this stuff matters so much more tonight. Viper offense gets a big run, but then again, Dragon defense is just keying in on this run. They know this is what the Viper offense is trying to do tonight. So they stack the box and they're ready for it.
Wally Olsen launches another suborbital shot, lands at the 25-yard line, and could be down right there at the 25. So 25, 35, 45, about 55 yards.
Just about flip the field.
In the air. That is unbelievable. Like you said, Merle, suborbital. Looked like an ICBM.
Yeah.
Almost a perfect spiral. And did you see it hit the ground?
Yeah.
It hit it perfectly and bounced straight up in the air.
Averaging 42.7 yards per punt with a long of 59. That one was pretty darn close. So
that'll help out that defensive unit.
Yeah, that will.
Their own territory.
13-7, Hutto over McNeil first quarter score. That's a big game that we're watching. Scoreboard watching with everybody else. First down 10 at the 26-yard line. It's like election night watching returns come in. One receiver left, 2 to the near side. Stickler in the shotgun. Now it is Apple. As I call us Stickler, and it's Apple back in the game at quarterback. And he's going to get out to the 32-yard line. Gain of about 5 yards on the play by the Round Rock running back.
There is one big difference, at least for me, Merle, versus election night. Is I would never stay up to watch an election result, but I would stay up to watch football.
There you go. That's exactly right.
And it's kind of weird. They're going for this double quarterback. Who was the other team we played that went for 2 quarterbacks earlier this year? I'm trying to remember.
Well, Stony Point, I think.
Stony Point, that's right.
And that's the kind of thing that happens when you do that.
Yes,
you
exactly.
get those guys out of rhythm, and you get a procedure penalty called.
100% correct, Merle Bertrand. That's the negative effect of the two quarterback system. As you get a familiarity, you get the literally and figuratively a cadence that is in the huddle, and then a cadence on the line of scrimmage. You get the used to the sound of one guy's voice, and then when you mix it up like that, it's bound to cause issues.
Yeah, and I'm telling you guys, as center, you really do hear the difference in every snap count, and it can throw everything off. So that's why I've always been kind of against switching your quarterbacks mid-game like this.
2nd and 9. Apple dropping back, setting up a screen pass left side. Caught and dropped immediately. Viper swarming to the football, and it's going to be a loss of about 2 yards on the play.
Swarm of Vipers there. First one there coming out of the pile, I believe. Looks like Gavin Law, long arm of the Law, is there.
The cornerback on that side is number...
Thomas Foot getting involved.
20. Who is that masked man?
And I believe he's number...
Oh, that's Grossbeck.
Yeah.
He did an amazing job there fighting through the block to disrupt that play initially.
Coming up on the halfway mark in the second quarter, 3rd down and 10 after a nice pickup, the procedure penalty, and then a loss on the screen pass. And the Vipers have him on a 3rd and 10 from the 26-yard line. Apple puts the back in motion, dropping back, looking. Good protection. Pocket breaks down now, and not a sack, but a tackle after about a 3-yard pickup. Did you guys see Hugo de la Barra swat at that football?
Absolutely right, Merle Bertrand. Again, that's 2 in a row. You're exactly right. Hugo went in with the intent to take that ball away from the quarterback, and add to the fact, I don't know if you guys have seen him in person, that he's a beast. I mean, he's obviously, he knows where the weight room is, right, Matt? I mean,
he's a big cat playing defensive end out there. I'm surprised that Apple was able to hang on to the football with the force of that hit and the punch that came from DVV.
Adam Ferguson, the punter. End over end kick lands at about the 40-yard line. Vipers need to get away from it. It's bouncing around. It's going to roll out about the 33-yard line. So the field position defensive struggle continues here. Vipers with one other score. So far they've made it hold up.
Yeah, back and forth. Both these defenses doing a great job tonight. Viper defense really playing lights out, getting the turnover, really just limiting this offense that, has put up some points this year. This is a offense that can score. And tonight, nothing is really working for the Dragon defense. The game plan the Viper defense has tonight is playing, it's working to perfection right now for the Vipers.
So one receiver right, trips to the near side. 1st down and 10, Vandegrift from the 33-yard line. 5:02 to go first half. Now they put Chilton in motion, so 2 receivers to either side. Hand off to Moore. He lowers his shoulder, pushes a pile across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 3 yards and a cloud of rubber pellets.
Okay. I want to talk more about Wiley Olson and the net effect there, because both teams went 3 and out on that sequence.
Right.
And the 55-yard punt by Wiley Olson, gentlemen, you get a net effect of about 18 yards in field position gain just because of that massive booming punt. What an amazing effort by Wiley Olson.
2nd and 7 from the 36-yard line. It is little things in a game like this. Lombard in the shotgun. High snap, tracks it down, hands it off, right side Moore. And pushing forward from maybe a yard, going to set up a 3rd down and 6.
No room there on the edge.
No.
Keep kind of, and this is kind of the risk you run when you keep looking for those kind of home run plays as a running back. You keep bouncing outside. But this Round Rock defense is so disciplined. They're very similar to how the Viper defense runs, where they're all in the correct spaces. You're not going to find this defense out of place often. So there's just not a ton of room anytime you try and bounce it or make an extra move there. Really great job by the Dragon defense on that play.
3rd and 6 from the 37-yard line. 1 receiver right, 2 to the near side. Lombard in the shotgun. He's got Brown in the pistol behind him. Dropping back, looking. Dumps it off underneath, complete. And giving ground, Chilton. Oh! He thought he had some running room, but he did not account for, who is that, number 15? That's Ellis King. King had come in on Lombard, did not get the sack, but I don't think Chilton saw him coming up from behind.
Well, Chilton made 2 guys miss, and they put on a nice dance routine there, and might have had some open space to run into, but a great play. And he's only a sophomore, number 15 for Round Rock, Ellis King.
A great key by him. And by the defense as a whole, no one really was fooled by that screen that time.
Right.
Vipers forced the punt.
Olsen launches another bomb into the night sky. Fair catch called for and made at the 23-yard line.
That one was only 42 or
only
40.
Slacker.
Yeah, 45. Yeah. High school punter. Unbelievable.
Again,
well,
every yard matters in a game like this tonight, and it is right now, a game of, what is it, a movable wall or a movable object?
Yeah, unstoppable force being the immovable object.
It's both immovable objects right now.
Yeah.
As both these defenses are just standing tall as walls that cannot be penetrated tonight. And we're in for a nice physical defensive game so far. And I believe this trend is going to continue to go as both these defenses are playing lights out right now.
First down, Dragons at their own 24-yard line. Handoff up the middle. And I think this is Cochran out to the 30. He's going to pick up about 6 yards on the carry. Second down and 4. It was Cochran. Thank you, Christina. McNeil's tied up Hutto. 14-14 second quarter.
Wow.
Why do I get the feeling that these games are going down to the wire?
Everyone is playing for that playoff spot tonight or that district title. There's literally every game tonight has something on the line.
That's right.
In this district. So
third down
football.
And 4 from the Dragon 30. 2:23 to go, coming up in the 2-minute timeout. Snap Wildcat, back to Cochran. Vipers are ready for it. Right there, spying on him was Thomas Foote, and there's a flag on the far side. I think there was motion.
Yeah, I think they're going to get him for an illegal shift or some sort of illegal motion because quarterback, I believe is number 12 in right now, who is
that's a Stickler again.
Stickler, and he was not fully moved over for that direct snap. I think the snap came honestly a little early. Looked like the center. Everyone was kind of surprised to get the
football. It's kind of weird.
So going to be a negative gain on a play that was a small gain. So you're going to take that as a defense. Back them up now, second and long. And again, both these offenses I feel like are kind of mirroring each other. I mean, Round Rock again is kind of all year they play this kind of spread you out offense. That's kind of their system.
Right.
And tonight they just can't find anything right now in the passing game. So both offenses keep going to these kind of trickery run plays and these unique wildcat whatever to try and get some extra yards and fool the defense.
Well, the other thing, the Vipers, we've seen them operate throughout the season at various tempos. They've got several different tempos. We've heard Coach Sanders talk about it in some of his post-game remarks in the past, and we're taking our time. Yep. We're bleeding some time off the clock. I mean, guys, we were already to the 2-minute mark in this first half, and both teams have had the ball. This is the fifth possession for Round Rock, but they've got 2 turnovers and 2 punts. The Vipers have 3 punts and a touchdown on the opening drive. So this is going to be a slugfest, as you mentioned in your opening comments, Merle, and a chess match in these situations. I mean, it's just a real dogfight and a chess match for every single yard.
I mean, we're in the 44th minute. We're almost at halftime. I mean, it's just kind of flying by here in the 7-0 ball game.
Both teams just continue when they both just want to stick to the run game and control and just kind of they both feel like they're kind of milking as much clock as they can. I don't think either of these offenses are in a hurry tonight at all. Game just so flies by. So we're already at the 2-minute timeout, and the Round Rock Dragons come out in a nice spread you out empty set here.
That's Apple in a quarterback for this series. 2 receivers left, 3 to the near side. Pump fake, quarterback draw up the middle, and not going to get very far. Didn't see who that was. It may have been Foote again. Got him.
It was.
Slowed up.
The wrecker of the destroyer of worlds, number 10, Thomas Foote.
And there to help him was Rohan Sturgeon.
Now, if you're Vandegrift, do you call a timeout here, 3rd and 6, or are you just satisfied to let this clock? The clock. They're not calling the timeout, so I guess we have our answer.
Yeah, this is an offense that's a little limited tonight. You're playing with the back quarterback. You're not going to have the explosive passing plays that you're so used to having as an offense. So I think you're totally fine letting this this leak out because you do get the ball at a half.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah.
This is a kind of a get a stop and don't give them any chance to score here because they've been struggling tonight too.
Sticks swings it to the right side, makes the first man miss to the 35 to the 40 to the 45, still on his feet to the 45 to the 40. Now it's a foot race to the 30 and going to be knocked out at the 16-yard line. Saving the touchdown for Vandegrift was Colt Stevens, but just a little dump off pass, and Cochran did all the work himself.
Ran through a tackle there, made a nice catch.
Ran through a few
Turned
tackles.
upfield, yeah. I mean, he's quite a football player, number 26 for the Round Rock Dragons. Great play.
First down at the 16-yard line. Stickler in the shotgun again. Dragons with 1 timeout remaining, rolling to his left. Looking downfield, he's still looking, fires over to the left side, and incomplete. About 4 white shirts in the neighborhood. Remember, Round Rock had to burn those 2 timeouts in the first quarter, so with 48 seconds to go, they have 1 remaining.
Yeah, and you stop the clock with the pass.
Yeah. Rule for your receivers is if you get 2 hands on it, it should be a catch.
Yeah.
And so I think that's an incompletion, but
yeah, one you're going to want to get back right there. That was honestly a perfectly placed ball for that
agree.
situation.
Yeah, I agree.
2nd and 10 from the Viper 17. 48 seconds left. Empty back set for Stickler. Stickler dropping back. Slant pattern complete over the middle and going to be dropped at about the 5. Going to bring up a first down and goal. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. On the receiving end was Dylan Yeager.
Round Rock going fast, knowing they only have 1 timeout. And because of that clock stoppage, because of the first down, they're getting set.
Now they wind it. Stickler. Handoff up the middle, Cochran, and he's going to be stopped just shy of the goal line. 2nd and goal from the 1. The clock ticking down. Not much of a factor here this close. And Vandegrift might call a timeout.
Yeah, I think that's the right call here. You just stopped him from getting into the goal line, like right on the 1-yard line. So you just call a timeout, settle your defense. And that timeout's less of like, hey, we're trying to give our offense the ball back. It's more like, let's stop a touchdown on this 1-yard line. And we've seen the Vipers have plenty of stops at this area of the field. So, I think this is something
just go ahead and say it, Matt. Yeah. We're going to see a goal line stand.
Yeah,
we got to get we're invoking, as much of the broadcaster's curse as we can. But, there's no question about it. The Vipers are capable.
This is something we've seen all year throughout the Viper defense history. So many historic stops in this area of the field. Coach Sanders and his staff always find a way to just, get a negative play, get something going, just find ways to not allow a touchdown. And if you can do that against this offense to end the half, up 7-0, getting the ball, you're feeling great.
2nd and goal from the Viper 1. 26 seconds left. Dragons still with the timeout. Cochran in the pistol, lined up behind Dove Stickler. Power formation on the right side. Handoff Cochran. He is not going to get there. And he is going to lose a couple yards. The clock ticking down. 3rd down. Timeout with 19 seconds.
The Dragons are going to have to burn their last timeout. And here you get into a situation about the play call, Matt Sanders, because with 18 seconds left, if you run the ball, you're going to have to get into a jailbreak situation to get some kind of attempt for a field goal. So, you're going to pass the ball here. It's going to be really interesting. And, I do like that call from Round Rock. They've got massive offensive line and, running back that can deliver a wallop at the point of attack. But, this is a situation. This is going to be an interesting call with 20 seconds left. They put 2 back.
I think the Vandy defense does exactly what you call that timeout for, a negative play. Stack them up in the backfield. Back them up. Every inch matters when you're this close to the end zone. And the Viper defense does a great job anticipating that run play. But you're exactly right, Hank. This is a hard call as an offense. Everything is telling you got to throw a pass here, because if you run the football and for whatever reason, it's high school football, you're also taught as a defender to kind of lay a little bit longer. Don't let the running back up kind of impede the process of getting the ball set. So I think you got to throw the football. Otherwise, you risk not getting that 4th down playoff or getting a field goal.
So here we go. 3rd down and goal from the 3-yard line. 20 seconds left. They put a couple back on the clock. Cochran lined up at the right side of Stickler. Stickler rolling right. Looking. Fade pattern. Left side. He's open. Did he make the catch?
No, he
dropped it. Incomplete.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
What happened over there? We can't see from this vantage point, but I thought he secured the catch.
I did too.
Had it in his hands, and it looked like he just, as the contact with the DB, he just popped out right at the end. And this ain't the NFL where you can't review it or anything like that, and you got to completely catch it for the ref to even call it a touchdown. So they run a little field goal unit out here, and that's the right call. That's why you throw a pass, gets you time to set up and get 3 points, where points are so valuable in a game like tonight, and they get it.
Yeah, the kick is up and good from Santiago Irizarry. So with 9 seconds to go, Round Rock does get on the board. But if you're Vandegrift, you hate that you gave up that 3rd down and long play. That's what set that up. But you're glad that they stiffened after that to get the moral victory and hold them to 3.
Not giving up a touchdown is huge.
Unbelievable. That's an amazing stand.
Yeah.
You're in a 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line, and you beat a blocker through a gap. It's either the A or the B gap, somewhere on the interior of the line of scrimmage. Till you get upfield, you get in and disrupt the handoff, and you create a negative play. Yeah. and you really put the pressure back on Round Rock. And well defended, well executed play by Round Rock there. But that's a big moment in this game.
Yeah.
Holding them to just the field goal. It could have consequences later on, and this is really shaping up to be a barn burner.
I mean, we talked about it right before. That is what the Viper defense does.
That's
when they get backed up against the end zone, this defense just finds ways to make you. They make you fight for those touchdowns when you get down in the red zone. And right there, they said, you're not scoring, Round Rock. Sorry, you take your 3 since you got close enough where you're in field goal range, but we're not giving you any more than that. What a stand by the Viper defense. And we see it so often with this unit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a culture thing too. I think it's just a defense that they have a mindset switch when they get back into the end zone where they will not let you in the end zone.
They're mad that they're there in the first place.
Exactly.
Here's Ari. Squibs it along the ground. That's a live football falling at the 44-yard line. Heads up play. Kind of looking like a shortstop there, fielding a hard-hit ground ball. Knocked it down, kept it in front of him. Sam Brown, good job.
There's number 81 there is playing on the left side of that front line. Hudson Moore. I don't know if you guys saw, he waved his second line of blockers up because he saw how the kicker was lined up. So heads-up awareness there by number 81, Hudson Moore.
Blake Crawford writing in, watching the broadcast, and thank you for the kind words. Got on a bit late, so not sure if you went through the playoff scenarios. Will you do that again during any lull in the action? We'll be doing it all night long as the scores coming in here tonight on the Vype broadcast that we're keeping an eye on.
I can rattle it all off.
Yes.
As soon as we kind of come to a close, I can go through it right after this.
Did you create a PowerPoint that we could show? Because it's the permutations
are. The Excel spreadsheet.
The Excel spreadsheet. The permutations are almost infinite.
First and 10 from the 44-yard line, 7 seconds on the clock. And swing pass left side, trying to do the hook and ladder, and nice job there by Chilton. He realized that he has somebody draped all over him, decided not to even risk it. That's a smart play.
That's a senior heads-up play right there, where right there it almost looks like he's about to fumble it, and Round Rock defenders in the area where they could return that for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Chilton, great hands, recatches the football kind of mid-pitch, and pulls that back in. So we are at half now, 7-3. I don't know if we got a break or if I can go through all the playoff scenarios, or what do we got time for?
Yeah, we can. Let's see. It's 17-7. Vista Ridge is leading Westwood.
Okay.
Hutto is now leading McNeil 28-14.
Okay.
So I'm going to call it up here.
So that, based on that right now, basically. Okay. So it's let's say Vipers. Let's say Vipers win tonight versus Round Rock. So that's going to be a potential 3-way tie for Round Rock, McNeil, and Vista Ridge. And if Vista wins, moves them up to be tied with Round Rock, and then McNeil loses would move them also down to that 5-3 tie. So it becomes a little mini district where you look at the head-to-head scores. And so Vista beat McNeil.
I've got that part here.
Yeah,
slide 4.
Yeah, can you pull that up? No. Round Rock beat McNeil.
Vista lost to McNeil.
Vista lost to McNeil. Round Rock beat McNeil, and Vista beat Round Rock. There we go. So it's a 3-way tie with those. So then it comes down to point differential in those matchups, where if it comes down to that, and they're all tied up at 5-3, McNeil would be out because they lost by the most to Round Rock. They lost by 14 in that game.
Right.
So that it all comes down to that. So unfortunately, even though that McNeil has the head-to-head over Vista, if they're all 5-3, then McNeil will be first out, and Vista and Round Rock are in the playoffs. So McNeil is either hoping for a win to come back against Hutto, or for Round Rock to win tonight, and they would be in against us. There we go.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's more confusing if I explained it or not, but there we go.
Well, it is a bit confusing, and I can tell you right now, for one team, it's going to be like a swift kick to the ribs.
Oh yeah.
So you have a season where you've been fighting for playoffs and pulled off some good victories. McNeil, potentially, Vipers go on to win this game. They hung the only loss on the district champions, and you don't make
Yeah.
the playoffs. I mean, that's a swift kick to the ribs, but that's what big time high school football is all about in Texas, and real exciting atmosphere here tonight. The crowd is super into it, and we've really seen some hard hitting action on the field, and what a pleasure to watch a game like this.
Yeah, and I would just hate for McNeil. This is such a great team they have. They're having such a great year.
I know.
And for them to have a chance to not make playoffs is crazy. That's how competitive this district is this year. I hate it for any team right now. I wouldn't mind. I'm not partial to the Rangers. I would like the Rangers to be out, honestly, just off the history of the rivalry and
Right,
stuff. But all those teams are great teams, and they all deserve to be in the playoffs. It's just a tough district, 9 teams. So
that sounds like residual animosity, Matt Sanders,
Maybe.
and I fully endorse that. I just want you to know that we're okay with that. And I mean, you got the rivals, and you know, it's hard to cheer for them sometimes, but what a football game.
You know, we talked about it. Every team, of those 3 especially, has got a game that they would like to have back. McNeil has Cedar Ridge beat. Absolutely had them beat and let them off the hook sort of with a couple of weird plays and a great play by Cedar Ridge on a game-winning drive with 38 seconds to go. McNeil would love to have that one back. Vista Ridge would love to have the game back last week against Hutto. I mean, this district this year is so evenly matched. Vipers have gotten so used to rolling everybody. It's just not that way this year.
Well, and you know, we talked about it all season as we played the individual teams about how the level of play in this district has continued to rise.
Right.
And I think, you know, this is a manifestation of that competitiveness at every one of the schools. As you're seeing all of these super tight ball games and that are going down to the wire. And you know, when you're in a one-score game in the final 2 minutes, you know, in a competitive tight game, you know, how many crazy, miraculous, weird things have we've seen just watching the Vandegrift Vipers. I mean, there's, you know, we've seen some wacky results, and then that's what's been happening in the district all year, and that is the beauty of high school football. It's the human drama of athletic competitions unfolding at stadiums all across Central Texas tonight, and it is absolutely glorious.
Well, we are going to take an extended break to 7-3 Vipers on top. No Viper band tonight, but speaking of the Viper band, I'm sure, unless you're living on Mars, what a saga they've had this week. First of all, kudos, congratulations, bronze medalists at the UIL State Marching Band competition. But what a journey to get there with their tractor-trailer rig getting destroyed by a train down in San Antonio, getting stalled on the tracks. Thankfully, nobody hurt. But kudos and thank you to all the students from all the other schools down there that contributed equipment and instruments and all that kind of stuff. I think Cedar Park and Rouse sent their trailer down to deliver gear when the Vipers reached the championship round on Sunday. So, you know, it's competition, but it's more than that for those folks to help out and make sure that the Vandy kids had a chance to compete.
That's beautiful sportsmanship, and you know that speaks volumes to the level of competitive intensity we see and talk about and laugh about. You know, it's one thing, but that all stays on the field. And then when you see your neighbors stepping up to help you, that's a big time gesture by those schools. And thank you very much.
So 7-3 Vipers on top at the half. Vandy will get the football to start the second half. We're going to take an extended break. Hank's going to put together the statistics. Probably won't take very long tonight with a 7-3 score, but we'll take a break and talk about the first half some more. We're going to hear from Brian Spielis here in just a couple minutes, and we'll be back for more of the halftime festivities. Vandy Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. And a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
Card My Yard. When good news comes your way, skip the card and stake the yard. It's the easiest way to decorate for any celebration. We do all the work for you. Book your order online and we'll set up the surprise and take down the decorations afterwards. Grand opening, anniversary, or any special occasion. Card My Yard. 95 franchises throughout the U.S. Now a proud sponsor of your school. Visit cardmyyard.com today.
When you buy or sell a piece of property, it helps to have a friend in the business. Independence Title will pick up the ball on your transaction and take it right across the goal line. Independence is locally owned right here in Austin with deep roots in the Vandegrift community. Independence is also the Austin Business Journal's #1 title company. Work with the home team at Independence Title. Call 329-5299 or go to independencetitle.com.
Thank you to our sponsor, Wayne Weigelt State Farm Insurance Agency, providing insurance and financial services. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Please visit www.agentwayne.com for all your insurance and financial service needs.
Family time, anytime. Always worth every dime. On our ways, chicken eat. Unbelievable, sweet tea. Express tenders, they're the best. Not to mention all the rest. Chicken E's the place to go for all of us in the know. Plenty of sides to make a meal. Chicken E is for real. Follow me to Chicken E. Gotta have their sweet tea.
If you or your Vandegrift athlete have suffered an orthopedic injury or have joint pain, let Dr. Matthew Crawford and his team at Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine take care of you. Dr. Crawford specializes in diagnosis and treatment of sports-related injuries with an emphasis on injury prevention and conservative treatments. He and his team offer cutting-edge arthroscopic and minimally invasive surgical techniques. Visit them today at austin-orthopedics.com. Let Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine keep you at the top of your game.
When you buy or sell a piece of property, it helps to have a friend in the business. Independence Title will pick up the ball on your transaction and take it right across the goal line. Independence is locally owned right here in Austin with deep roots in the Vandegrift community. Independence is also the Austin Business Journal's #1 title company. Work with the home team at Independence Title. Call 329-5299 or go to independencetitle.com.
Thank you to our sponsor, Wayne Weigelt State Farm Insurance Agency, providing insurance and financial services. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Please visit www.agentwayne.com for all your insurance and financial service needs.
Family time, anytime. Always worth every dime. On our ways, chicken eat. Unbelievable, sweet tea. Express tenders, they're the best. Not to mention all the rest. Chicken E's the place to go for all of us in the know. Plenty of sides to make a meal. Chicken E is for real. Follow me to Chicken E. Gotta have their sweet tea.
If you or your Vandegrift athlete have suffered an orthopedic injury or have joint pain, let Dr. Matthew Crawford and his team at Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine take care of you. Dr. Crawford specializes in diagnosis and treatment of sports-related injuries with an emphasis on injury prevention and conservative treatments. He and his team offer cutting-edge arthroscopic and minimally invasive surgical techniques. Visit them today at austin-orthopedics.com. Let Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine keep you at the top of your game.
And we welcome you back to Dragon Stadium, Round Rock High School. Merle Bertrand here along with Matt Sanders and Hank Hudson, Christina Weber-Bertrand, our QA, and Brian Spiegels down on the sidelines. A couple of scoring updates for you before we get to the interview that Brian had with Coach Sanders a few minutes ago. Second quarter, Hutto now leading McNeil 28-21. The Mavericks not going quietly into this good night. Georgetown leading Cedar Park 22-14. Cedar Ridge leading Manor 42-14. And the other game of massive interest tonight, Vista Ridge 17, Westwood 14. Those are all second quarter scores. So the action heating up. This one 7-3. So we'll talk about that here in a minute or two as well. But just a few moments ago, Brian Spiels had a chance to catch up to head coach Drew Sanders down at the sidelines. Let's get his thoughts on a tough defensive struggle here tonight at Round Rock.
Vype Live here with Vandegrift head coach Drew Sanders. Halftime, Drew, your Vipers are up 7-3. They came up with just a field goal at the end there. You had to be a little happy with your defense. What are your thoughts so far in the game?
Yeah, they've had one play all game, really. And I kind of gave that to him. I didn't like my call. I wish if I could go back, I would take that call back. But defensively, I loved how we bulled our neck there. You know, they had first and goal at the whatever. And for all to be able to call a timeout, calm them down, and be coached and play their butt off. We kind of live in that area and play really well, so it was nice to see that. This is going to be just that. I mean, it's a district champion type game. You know, this is the kind of games you got to win if you want to be a district champion and if you want to go down in the playoffs. This is exactly what we prepared for. You know, offense, we're struggling a little bit, and we'll find. I'm sure Lawson and the guys will find some footing here pretty quick. But pleased overall. We get the ball and start the half, so hopefully come out and score.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach. Good luck next half.
So there you go.
The master technician, the grand chess master, Drew Sanders, and a colossal struggle is what's going on here. And I mean, this, don't you feel like, guys, this, Matt, you may not be able to, relate to this as much as Merle and I can, but it harkens back to the days of yore when you had, this kind of feels more like an old school game where it's just a slobber knocker and you're trying to drive the ball down each other's throats. And we're seeing Round Rock's mixing in a bit more passing, but they're running the ball more. They've got 1.5 pass attempts for every rush, 1.8. So it's a very old school feel. I mean, we were already deep into halftime, and those games are still in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead,
Mike. Yeah, I think this is just a battle. I think Coach said it right. This is a game you have to win to get a district title. This is a game that is going to be a playoff type game. We kind of look back at what the teams were the last 3 years for the Vipers prior to this one, and it was just like best teams we've had in years, rolling everybody.
Right.
And we'd always been worried we never been tested. We had never had those struggles that you look for that builds a team slowly through those struggles. And every team you kind of look back has those games. And sometimes you get to the playoffs and sometimes it's the first time you've been tested. Well, this team has gone through some fire, some battles this season, and this is just another one they're adding to their list. They get out of this one with a win, they'll be feeling on cloud nine, and it's another notch in their belt that they're prepared for the playoffs and prepared because every game is going to be like this for this team as they move on. It's going to be a fight from here on out, and I think this is a perfect game to kind of get ready and get going and see what this team's made of. This is a game where, man, who wants it more? Who wants this district title?
Right.
That's what it's going to come down to tonight. Both teams, Hank said it best, it's a slobber knocker tonight, and it's going to get nasty.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Statistically, there's not really much of a story to tell. So far in that first half. Now, the play count did even up a bit, but we finished up with the Vipers ran 28 plays on 4 possessions. Round Rock ran 10, 16, 19, 25 plays. So, very kind of even matchup. And, they had, 5 possessions that first half. The first one, they managed to maintain possession for 7 plays and then had a turnover on downs. Vipers defense doing the job there. Then they had an interception and then 2 punts. And then that big play, you heard Coach Sanders saying, hats off to Coach Sanders. He stood up and took the accountability on that play, as we've seen him do many, many times.
Right.
But in the first half, statistically, Justin Moore is leading the offensive charge for the Vipers. He's got 13 carries for 73 yards, including an electric 26-yard touchdown run. Lawson's got 4 of 5 in the passing game for 18 yards. All 18 yards and the 4 catches went to his main man, number 1, Brock Chilton. Sam Brown's got a couple of carries for 4 yards, but there's just a lot of collisions happening in the interior of the line of scrimmage. There's a lot of really technical football being played, so it's a fun game to watch if you really like that technical part of the game, don't you think, Matt?
Yeah, and I think it's just a lot of trying to find little advantages to get just a couple extra yards, because that's what it comes down to. I think honestly both sides of both offenses have kind of struggled to find those big plays. Round Rock had the one, but really it was off the back of it. It was a straight up just dump off to their running back, and Cochran did the rest, breaking 3 tackles to get him all the way down inside the 10-yard line. So both of these offenses are struggling for explosives, and so it comes down to little scheme things. Can you scheme your guys to just open up to get a few extra yards? Can you block just a little bit longer to that whistle and find ways to just pick up what you need and stay ahead of schedule? Because both these offenses, we've seen it, anytime they fall behind the sticks, the drive is basically dead. It is so hard to convert. We saw the Vipers come back with a really nice draw play the one time they got backed up, but every other time they've been backed up past the sticks, the drive has essentially been dead in the water. And so it's so important for both of these offenses, especially the Vipers tonight, with a Lombard who, again, just doesn't have experience throwing it downfield or getting in those long situations where you have to uncork the arm a little bit and let it loose. So in a game like this, he's very confident in running the offense, but he hasn't done it. He doesn't have that experience. So as an offensive coordinator, you're just more hesitant to call for those shot plays and see that. So offense has to find those little advantages. And tonight, I think the Viper offense did a great job of doing that. And I think this drive, we're going to see Coach Woolley and them scheme up a lot of kind of unique plays to just get this ball rolling, get some momentum back on this offensive side, and at least get them in field goal range to get some sort of points on the board on this opening
get some
drive.
separation. I mean, it's crazy. You would think the Vipers, Round Rock coming in, 39.8 points per game, 389.9 yards per game. You've held them to 3 points, and you're still nervous because you only have 7 of your own. You're really struggling on offense, understandably so. So it is. It's going to come down to game management and, maybe getting a break here and there, getting a pick six, getting a fumble recovery on the short field, something like that. But, if you're Coach Sanders, if you're the Vipers, with all the injuries that they've had on both sides of the ball, they've got to be thrilled to be ahead here 7-3. They're ahead in this football game on the road.
Absolutely correct. And let's talk about some intangibles in the game because that third phase of the football game, as we've seen the Vipers do so many times, they're winning the special teams battle. There's been no big colossal plays, but you've got a kicker in Wiley Olson who is just absolutely a game changer. We saw him flip the field on that, but just absolutely suborbital. I like that word, Merle. The punt of 55 yards that netted nearly 20 yards in field position and just completely flipped the field. If you look at the starting field position, the Vipers usually win that battle, but we started on our own 40. We've started on the Round Rock 49, our own 17, and the our minus 33-yard line. The best starting field position out of the 5 possessions for Round Rock in that first half was their own 26-yard line.
Wow.
So Vipers winning that part of the game. Turnover battle. Vipers are 1-0 on that count as well. That big interception by Tobias Gray. We've seen some wrinkles from this Vipers defense tonight that I haven't seen before. Lining out Hugo de Lavara Vasquez out there on top of the slot receiver and taking a hard inside move to disrupt that quick screen, which Round Rock has been living and dying by that play all year long. So a lot of really technical, cool things going on here from a spectator standpoint. And I'm really excited about the second half. Vipers get the ball to start the second half, Matt. And, right now you want them to come out and establish some kind of drive, matriculate down the field, and, get some more points on the board.
Yeah, and this is a team that, the Vipers are so known and being a player for those kind of halftime adjustments. You talk about every level of football has that you go into halftime, and every commentator talks, this team needs some halftime adjustments. So this is a team that I've been in those locker rooms. They do a great job at figuring out what worked, figuring out what didn't work, and making adjustments to it. You go into the run game, you're looking at specific run plays. Okay, here's what we hit big on. Here's the touchdown play. Can we hit more runs like this? Can we pull out something that we've used against other teams?
Right.
The kids know it, but there wasn't, maybe game plan for this week. But, hey, let's pull this out from, maybe 2 weeks ago. Let's run it now.
Kind of like that hook and ladder they almost tried at the end of the first half.
Exactly. So they like to pull stuff out they've used and have it's worked in the past. They didn't plan for it this week, but maybe they see an opportunity because they need to reach a little deeper in their bag tonight to get that offensive production. So I'm very confident in this coaching staff preparing this team to come out in the second half and perform better, at least offensively. I think defense, keep doing what they're doing. I think this is a defensive masterclass so far from the Vipers. Only one big play, and everything else has just been all Viper D. So I think this first drive will be a big telling of kind of what they've adjusted to, and I think we're going to come out here and hopefully see an offense that is moving a little bit. Let's matriculate down the field. Let's look more like that first score, where 14-play drive, total control, and just finding ways to move the football any means necessary.
Well, a couple more scoring updates for you here. Big battle going on out of Liberty Hill. Bastrop and Liberty Hill tied 7-7. I mean, those talk about schools that are scoring like 50 points a game, and it's 7-7. Bastrop and Liberty Hill. Westwood is now on top of Vista Ridge, 21-17. That's a halftime score.
Wow.
And Hutto leading McNeil now 31-21 at the half. Cedar Ridge also leading Maine at 49-14. So the scores continue to come in. We'll keep you on top. Speaking of scores, let's see, 21. Well, I'm going to refresh this. I'm not sure if good old Max Preps self-refreshes or not. Okay, 21-14 at the half. Westlake leading Dripping Springs.
Okay, there you go.
We'll keep an eye on that. We did get a couple of emails in while we were yakking it up here. Richard Sewell writing in says, Great Grandma Ann watching the Vipers, and number 77, Carter Manning from Mesa, Arizona. Go Vipers. You know, and you know, Matt, Coach Sanders talks about Carter Manning and that long snapper. He's so overlooked. We talk about Wiley Olson all the time. Wiley Olson can't kick if the ball doesn't arrive in the right spot.
Yep.
So kudos to him. Let's see here. Friday Night Viper football defense rule. Shout out to number 14, Coach Swartwood. Let's see here. From Mimi and Yeses in New Orleans. Go Vipers, Geaux.
They're consistent.
Shout out from Will Wood's grandparents in Findlay, Ohio. Go Vipers. From the Currys writing in at voiceofthevipers@gmail.com. Aryaman Jawa writing in from Erie, Pennsylvania to watch the Vipers go for the district title against Round Rock. And Sue Davis writes in, says, proud grandma of Parker and Luke Davis watching from Orange Beach, Alabama, and grateful for the Vype Network. Well, thank you for the email, but thank you to Kimberly Lombard and really all of these folks right here, because without them, we wouldn't be here. So, like I said last night in the JV broadcast, go buy some barbecue, go buy some Chicken Express, go buy a boat from Malibu Boats. Without them, we wouldn't be here.
Steakhouse, what a great restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Birthday coming up. I think I'm going to go there. You get a little birthday dinner, get a little steak.
Right on. Keep plugging them. They might give you a count. They might comp you one.
Hey, there you go.
I mean, if they can give me a free steak for my birthday, I don't know if Center Ranch is listening, but this weekend or next week, not this weekend. Next weekend, I'll be there. Center Ranch Steakhouse. So I'm shouting out myself there.
There you go. Well, hey, look, we're pulling our weight in my household at Chicken Express and Rudy's for sure. I mean, it's like an expense category, especially Chicken Express. We eat there.
I love Chicken Express.
They're catfish.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you'll be there and we'll still be playing football.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
So we got about 3 minutes left in halftime. 7-3 Vipers on top. We're going to take another quick break and be back in time for the second half kickoff. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
Viper fans, is your home in need of a refresh? Whether you want a full-service home renovation or it's time to create your dream kitchen or bathroom, A. Newman Interiors has you covered. We will use our preferred pricing with major brands to choose the most perfect furniture and finish selections for any space in your home or office. A. Newman Interiors has proudly served the 4 Points community for over 10 years, and there's no better clients than our Viper fans. Call 626-310-2315 today to schedule your free consultation.
Floor Coverings International in Lakeway makes shopping for your new flooring easy. Floor Coverings International carries a full assortment of flooring to fit the purpose of the room, your lifestyle, and budget. Locally owned by Kevin Temple and family, Floor Coverings International offers free in-home consultation with a design associate. At Floor Coverings International in Lakeway, our goal is making your home flooring project a positive and convenient customer experience. Visit us today in Lakeway or online at lakeway.floorcoveringsinternational.com.
On the field, defense is everything. At Austin Dental Company, we got you protected the same way.
We accept dental insurance, and we also have in-house memberships.
Regular checkup to keep you in the game. Cosmetics and Invisalign.
For championship smiles. Whether it's game day or any day, we got your smile covered.
Dr. Martin Molina and his staff welcome you to Texas Family Physicians at River Place. Texas Family Physicians provides comprehensive family medical care for men, women, and children of all ages. They specialize in adult and pediatric preventative care, hypertension, diabetes, sports medicine, and seasonal allergies, just to name a few. They also offer Impact-certified baseline and post-injury concussion testing and treatment in office. Visit Texas Family Physicians online at texasfp.com. Texas Family Physicians at River Place. texasfp.com.
Welcome back to Dragon Stadium on the campus of Round Rock High School. Merle Bertrand, Matt Sanders, Hank Hudson here. Brian Spiel is down at the sidelines. Christina Weber Bertrand back at the Comfy Cozy Vype Live Studios, better known as the living room, watching the broadcast. Round Rock will kick off to Vandegrift to start the second half. Oh, juggle, get out of there. We go. Ontario Jackman picks up the loose football to the 20, bounces to the outside, trying to get the corner turned, and will to the 25 to the 30, and all the way out to the 35-yard line. You talk about disaster narrowly avoided. But it worked out pretty well for Vandegrift.
And Ontario Jackman ran about 70 yards on that play, so he ran the entire width of the field and about 10 more upfield. And then you get in those situations, you get your coverage team is pulling up a little bit because they see the ball bouncing around.
Right.
They're trying to get down there and make a play. So he manages to avert disaster and gain about 10 yards on the return.
Yeah, I had a mini heart attack.
Yeah,
right
no
there.
kidding.
I mean, that's one of those things where you just have to communicate, and whoever kind of claims that football is responsible for catching it. Not sure, they just didn't have the proper communication, but avoiding disaster there for the Vipers in pretty good field position for this drive.
At the 34-yard line to start things off. Swing pass right side to Chilton on the edge, and he's going to dive up to the 35. Short gain of maybe a yard on the play. Second down and 9. Nice job by the Round Rock defense recognizing what the Vipers were up to. Manor New Tech leading Northwest 29-0. Eastview leading Leander 15-13. Some of the other games tonight on Vype as the regular season coming to an end. Regents all over Hyde Park 49-0 at the half. Second and 9 from the 35-yard line. Lombard. Draw play up the middle, and boy, Round Rock is just stacking the box. Nice effort there by the Viper front line. And Justin Moore to get a push and pick up a couple yards. At some point, Matt or Hank, do you turn Lombard loose? Do you say, hey, take a shot just to stretch him out a little bit?
I think we'll see that. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I think at this point, this defense just isn't respecting anything deep. They're playing so tight to the line of scrimmage. That's where everything's happening right now. All the action. It's a lot of screens, a lot of swing passes, and a lot of runs. So to make them honest, you might want to take just a deep shot.
Third down and 6 from the 38-yard line. Dropping back Lombard and dumps it off underneath. Trying to get the corner turn. Chilton bounce to the outside. Up to the 40. To the 45. Breaks 350, 45, 40. Gets a block. He's going to go. 20,
what a
50,
play.
10, 5. Touchdown Vipers.
Unbelievable.
My goodness.
That's like a carbon copy of the play in the first half, but that time they didn't have the big defensive lineman there to wrap up Brock Chilton. But, I mean, how many guys did he make miss on that play, and how many cuts did he make?
I mean he made 4 Dragons look absolutely silly.
Yes.
And that is the kind of speed you get with Chilton. He's a true game changer. You get the ball to this is how your offense goes. Get the ball to number 1.
That's
He's
right.
going to make a huge play. I mean, what a spark for this offense. That's exactly what you need. It's third down. You're about to go 3 and out, and you call a little screen pass. Round Rock's not ready for it, and Chilton just makes 4 people miss and scampers his way all the way to the end zone.
Wally Olsen with the extra point and a nice hold there by Lawson Lombard. That snap was a little bit high. So just like we talked about, Lawson Lombard chucks it 50 yards in the air downfield, right?
Yeah. Well, you got to wonder. I would, say, based on my experience watching this team, I would be willing to bet they talked about that play at halftime, Matt Sanders, and maybe made some adjustments, and just a little tweak here or there about how they were setting it up. But oftentimes you see offensive coordinators will script the first several plays at halftime. They don't always stay with it, but I have a feeling they may have talked about that play at halftime.
Yeah, and that's one of those ones where, I mean, Merle said it. It's exactly what we saw earlier. It's the same exact play,
right?
But this time, just schemed up a little bit better, executed a little bit better by the offensive line and by the whole offensive unit. And Chilton gets loose that time, and that is the danger of letting number 1 just get a little bit of space on you. He can just go. And shout out to the wide receivers. I believe it was Beekler downfield blocking, putting his body between the defender and his teammate running down the sideline. And that's how you spring in games like this. That's how you turn a big gain into a touchdown.
That's right.
A high effort down the field blocking. So great effort by him.
So Vipers up by 11 now, 14-3. Early second quarter, or second half, 10:25 to go third quarter, as this kickoff is going to be fielded at the goal line. Drops it, picks it up to the 5, to the 10, up to the 15, up maybe to the 20-yard line. Gain out to the 21 on the return was Dylan Harper. And the Viper defense just played lights out, allowing just a field goal. Will take the field.
Great job on special teams that time by number 99, Ryan Westerfeld. Seen him make a lot of plays this year. Always going full speed is number 99.
Yeah, both teams struggling a little bit with fielding those kickoffs. I mean, bobbling and dropping it right there for the Dragons caused that return, which honestly he had a lot of space there, looked like, and only got right to the 20 just because you're taking so much time to field the football after dropping it.
So Stickler leads the offense out of the field. First down 10 at the 21-yard line. Hand off right side to Cochran. Cuts back up across the left to the 25. Lowers the shoulder and gets out to the 28-yard line. Hard running there to pick up 7 yards. Second down and 3. Stephen Barber Springer riding in. Says, watching it all from Salado. Shout out to Matt, Coach Sanders, Janet, Caleb, and Sadie's. Go Vipers.
Thanks for shout out, E-Daddy. That is, and what a play by Cochran there, right there. And it's why he's such an elite back, and that's what he's been his whole career. What a cut. And he runs with ferocity right there through defenders. Makes the whole job for the rest of the offense for the Dragons way easier with how hard he's running tonight.
Second down and 3. They give it to him again up the middle. He's going to have the first time more to the 35 to the 40, and uppinned it across the 45 out to the 48-yard line.
Finally
nothing fancy there.
By number 0, Gorbeck.
Gorbeck, yeah.
But, again, they're going fast here.
Stickler in the shotgun. First and 10 from the 48-yard line. Handoff up the middle. And another big burst to the 45 to the 40 to the 35 to the 30. Vipers defense, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Sanders called the timeout to try to get this fixed here.
Yeah, Dragons have found something.
Yep.
Cochran's feeling it. 2 huge runs back to back.
And that's just right up the middle on both those long runs. Big chunk plays there, and you're just running between your center guard.
First down at the Viper 30. He remains in the pistol, lined up behind Stickler. Give it to him again. Why not? This time the Vipers swarm to the football and knock it down for just about a 3-yard pickup. Going to bring up a second down and 7 on the stop for Vandegrift. Rohan Sturgeon.
Yeah, and you'll take that over the 2 20-yard gains immediately. So nice job stacking him up there.
When you got a back like that, Matt, you know, putting him that far behind the line of scrimmage, he's 7 yards in a pistol. And he's got such good vision and is such an explosive and powerful runner. They're really taking advantage of his skill set.
Yeah.
Trips here to the near side. Second down and 7 from the Viper 27. Handoff up the middle again. Picks his way inside the 25. Knocked down at the 21. About a yard shy of the first down. Third down and 1.
Dragons found their spark here, and that's just giving the ball to Cochran every single play. Their O-line is doing a great job.
Steady diet of number 26 is what we're seeing.
Plenty of space to run, and Cochran is a tough runner to bring down. It takes more than one defender to bring him down every single time. So as a defense, you have to hit him early and kind of slow him down. And we've already seen him keep churning those legs and keep ripping off yards. So you cannot continue to come at him until the whistle is blown.
Right. Third and 1 from the 21. Give it to him again. He's going to pick up the first down and down to the 18, maybe spins to about the 17-yard line. It'll be first down and 10. Rondrock on the stop was Thomas Foote.
And this is an offense that tonight really struggled to throw the football with any success. So if this run game's working, you do not want to go away from it. It's everything for you. So the Vipers really have to slow up this run game, force them to throw, because that is what's been the weakness of the Dragons. They cannot throw the football tonight. So you need to find a way to slow down Cochran.
Stickler on the shotgun. First and 10 at the 17. High snap. Give it to him around the right side. Both hands of the football inside the 15. Digging to about the 11. And depending on the spot, looks like they'll give him the 11. So it's going to bring up a second down and about 4.
This is where the rubber meets the road, guys, down here in the red zone. So Vipers need to stiffen up a bit. But, I mean, you've got number 26 reeling off, huge gains here. I mean, he's averaging on this drive, 12 or 14 yards a carry. He had it all up. But, they're really doing a good job up front, as you said, Matt Sanders. They've got some absolutely massive people up there in that offensive line and creating some difficulty for our Vipers D.
Second down and 4 from the 12-yard line. Two receivers to the left, one to the near side. He comes in motion across the formation. Handoff Cochran up the middle, inside the 10, dives to about the 7-yard line. Going to be very near the first down marker.
I think they're going to mark him
just a little shy.
Just
like.
short, so it's going to be 3rd and about 1. Again, they're now inside the 10-yard line. It's where this defense normally stiffens up, but this has been a punishing drive. It is so physical as a defense to continue to be run on. That's such a physical play, and it's been working. So as a defense, you're a little tired. Got to find a second gear here, second win inside the 10-yard line.
Apple in a quarterback now. Handoff left side and going to be very close to the first down. I think he got there with the second effort.
Yeah, he's got about 4 yards there on that carry.
First and goal at the 5.
Round Rock is really winning at the point of attack, and when you've got a running back like Cochran taking full advantage, but full credit to this Round Rock's Dragon football team. They're well coached and disciplined, and they really have got some momentum on this drive. This will be the 10th play coming up.
And I'm pretty sure Cochran's gotten every single one of those.
That is correct.
Right, yeah.
100%.
Apple in the shotgun. They shift the formation to the right side. Handoff Cochran again. This time, Viper swarmed the football and knocked him down. Maybe, he got back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it.
Thomas Foote.
Nice recognition that time. It's like a snowplow. The more you push, the more the snow backs up. Right now, they're getting close towards the end zone, and the Vipers are the snow, and it's harder to get them into the end zone.
Yeah, beautiful metaphor, Merle Bertrand. Only someone who was raised up in the north like you and the massive snow drifts. We don't have that much snow here.
I don't think I've ever seen a snowplow in my life, but I can imagine that's exactly what this is like.
Second to go from the 5. Stickler handoff left side, halfback pass, and it is incomplete. I'll take that any day.
Yes,
anytime
indeed.
you have number 26 throwing the football instead of running the football, I'll take that as a win. Third down coming up.
It looks like he's left-handed, but he, obviously he's playing running back for a reason based on that delivery. But you know what? A cool-looking play call there.
Yeah.
Round Rock recognizing the Vipers' defense is
really stiffened up.
Yeah.
And so they got to come with a little bit of trickery that they feel like. And again, you think they're just going to hand it to Cochran again, but they give him the opportunity to throw, and it's 3rd down.
Big play, 3rd and goal from the 5. Swing pass, right side, complete in the slot, and a pinted. He didn't get there.
No, he didn't get there.
He got down to the 1. They dump it off to Dylan Yeager, and he gets down to the 1-yard line. 4th and goal. What a play call this is going to be.
Yes, indeed. No missed tackles on that play as the Vipers stop him. And you got a decision to make here, Matt, because you kick a field goal here, it's a 1-score game.
So you kick a field goal, you make it 1 touchdown, but offense is staying out there.
Yes, they
and
are.
With how effective they've been running the football, I think this is a no-brainer. You give it to Cochran, see if he can fight his way in. You bring out a heavy set.
4th and goal from the 1. Stickler in the shotgun. Cochran in the pistol. Give it to him. He is not going to get there.
Unbelievable. The Vipers do it again. A goal line stand of epic proportions, and what a momentum shift that is.
I mean, a 4th and an inch.
Oh, my gosh.
The Vipers stop the Dragons. My goodness.
What a soul-crushing result for Round Rock.
Soul-crushing.
I mean, you absolutely, just pounded the ball down the Vipers.
He lost a yard on that play.
I mean, what an effort by this Vipers defense. Coach Sanders dials up one of his, one of the cards he's got up his sleeve. I don't know what. I mean, the Vipers defense it's unbelievable how many times we see the Vipers stop another opposing team inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, perfect run stunt executed by the Viper defense there. There was already 3 white jerseys in the backfield by the time Cochran got the football.
Low snap, Lawson with the handoff. Vipers fortunate to at least pick up a couple yards and move it forward. Nice job by Lombard with the good hands on that snap.
And this is where, it's a little dicey as yourself as an offense trying to get out of the situation.
Yeah.
You're very happy to get the stop, but now a little bit nervous to try and just get out of the situation. This is an area of the field where you can get a safety if a bad snap happens. So you just got to take care of the football and fight for that first down to get a little breathing room here for the Viper offense.
2nd down and 9 from the 4. Lombard a yard deep in his own end zone. Snap, handoff, and they give it to number 40, Sam Brown. He's going to push it ahead across the 5 out to about the 7, so a little bit more breathing room. If nothing else, he got such a weapon in Wiley Olsen. Just give him room to punt it out of there.
Yeah. and make that Round Rock offense drive the whole field again. And I'll kind of throw back to that stop right there. You give the ball to Cochran every single play, you got to expect he's a little gas on that last carry. I mean, he got 100% of the opportunities on that drive.
I agree.
You give it to him one more time, and he didn't look like he had the same burst as when the drive started.
3rd down and 7. Lombard, draw play. Brown, big hole to the 10, to the outside, and he's going to pick up the first down and more. Still on his feet out to the 18-yard line. The Vipers pick up the first down.
What a great effort by number 3, Justin Moore there as he evades a couple attackers, breaks a tackle. Good job up front. Chase Springer, number 62, made a great block on that play. Vipers first down. That's a big one.
That's just what the doctor ordered. You're backed up. It's 3rd and long. And the Vipers do what no one really expects to do in that situation. They just run the football. They stick in this run game. And so far on these 3rd downs, it's been working for them. They've been finding that kind of big hole and ripping off these big runs when they need them.
Hank is right. That was Justin Moore on that carry, not Sam Brown. Nice pickup out to the 18-yard line. Play action. Now Lombard's going to run it himself, and he's going to be swallowed up the 17-yard line. Man, that scares me with your backup quarterback in there.
Yes. Looked like that might have been a design run all the way.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to stay a bit conservative, I think, but don't want to go the wrong direction.
Well, it was a little Monty Python, and now something completely different there. You're not expecting number 11 to take off with the football. No. But Round Rock did a good job staying home. 2nd down and 12 now, back at the 17-yard line. 1:38 to go in this 3rd quarter. It is flying by. 2 receivers here to the near side. Lombard in the shotgun. Chilton dancing around. Shuttle pass underneath to Chilton. Gets a block on the edge. A flag comes down. This one's coming back. And Chilton.
Another flag.
That's going to be a late hit. That's going to be a late hit.
So
there's my main man right there. That's Chase Springer. He's going 8 yards deep. Reminiscent of Jack Gullett when he did that a few years ago at this stadium.
Now, this is not offsetting, correct? It shouldn't be.
I don't know what the ruling is because technically the late hit is after the play. It's going to be a holding call.
So it'll be a hold, and then
15, and then it'll add 15.
So Matt Sanders in that sequence there, I don't imagine, just by personal feelings or thoughts and observations that coaches coach your offensive lineman to go 8 yards into the opposing sideline to retrieve the running back or the quarterback. That's just a matter of pride, isn't it? You've got guys going over there saying, "You give me back my player."
I will say this: in high school, it's more taught. And this is just offensive line play as general. You are taught to be the protector and the guardians of the football team. That's just your job,
right?
And kind of instilled in you as your coach. In high school, it's more kind of a focus on, hey, let's not do anything too stupid. Let's not get any penalties, but you are responsible for going to get your players. When Coach Mauser was there way back when, he said, I remember him having a meeting and getting upset that there wasn't enough offensive linemen around the ball carrier to help them up and get them out of the piles, and that was kind of something he talked about. And so that's something that is kind of, and into college as well, that's something that all my college coaches emphasize, like, hey, if something's going down, I want to see 5 offensive linemen in there enforcing it, either breaking up the fight or getting a little involved if you have to, and that's just something that's kind of a culture thing as an offensive lineman. You're the big boys, got to take care of your little guys, especially when they continue to make big plays for you.
That's why it pays to know an offensive lineman in your inner circle of friends.
Yeah.
If you don't know one, ladies and gentlemen, I highly recommend you go meet one.
They're great. They're great dudes. Funniest dudes on the team, I would say. But
so the end result of all of that is Vipers get a first down at the 23-yard line. It was half the distance back to the goal line and then 15 yards the other way and an automatic first down. So first down, Vandegrift, the 23-yard line, hand off to Moore. He lowers the shoulder and gets it out to the 28. And that'll be about a 4-yard pickup. 2nd down and 6, inside of a minute to go. That really bailed out the Vipers because they were facing a 3rd and long.
So. That's a very interesting wrinkle there, Matt Sanders. The offensive linemen, all 5 offensive linemen shifted to the left. So you can do that if they're not, you have to have the proper amount of time, and you have to, move and then get set again before you snap the football. So
and no hands down. So I love that. Again, just a little wrinkle. This is one of those games where little things like that matter, and if it can gain even a small advantage, maybe a numbers advantage on the side you're running to, or confusion in the defense, it matters in a game like this where right now points are hard to come by. It's 14-3 with 25 seconds left in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, what I'm wondering is going on here. The play clock never started after that running play. I was watching the game clock go down, Because when the ball was spotted, there were 43 seconds on the clock. So the Vipers.
Yeah, they're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, Coach Sanders is all the way past the top of the numbers. We don't see that maybe once or twice a season, so he's obviously involved in whatever's going on.
And he is
not happy about it.
Yeah, a little upset. A lot of gestures towards the official and the offensive coaching staffs of figuring out what's going on.
Absolutely glorious.
I think so now everything's correct. They're just going to let this one leak out. So that's going to be the end of the third quarter here. 14-3. Vipers are up.
What an interesting football game. What an interesting football game.
So 36 minutes in the books. Vipers trying to play for their 8th straight championship. They are up 14-3 after a couple of amazing goal line stands. We'll take a break. Be back for the fourth and final quarter. Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
On the field, defense is everything. At Austin Dental Company, we got you protected the same way.
We accept dental insurance, and we also have in-house memberships.
Regular checkup to keep you in the game. Cosmetics and Invisalign.
For championship smiles. Whether it's game day or any day, we got your smile covered.
Dr. Martin Molina and his staff welcome you to Texas Family Physicians at River Place. Texas Family Physicians provides comprehensive family medical care for men, women, and children of all ages. They specialize in adult and pediatric preventative care, hypertension, diabetes, sports medicine, and seasonal allergies, just to name a few. They also offer impact-certified baseline and post-injury concussion testing and treatment in office. Visit Texas Family Physicians online at texasfp.com. Texas Family Physicians at River Place. texasfp.com.
Welcome back to Dragon Stadium. 2nd and 5. Vandegrift moving from left to right now for this fourth and final quarter. Merle Bertrand, Hank Hudson, Matt Sanders here. Brian Spielos down the sidelines. And handoff right side to Moore. He's going to get out to the 30-yard line. A 2-yard pickup sets up a 3rd and 3. Vipers up 14-3 as the fourth quarter gets underway.
We're seeing some absolutely massive collisions up on that line of scrimmage. Matt Sanders, we get to flip the field, so we've been privileged to watch, the left tackle, number 71, Parker Cecil. Now we're going to get a bird's eye view in a 50-yard line seat to watch number 77, the right tackle, Carter Mannon. And those guys have been big all year. Big people, and they play big.
They need to do it again. 3rd and 3 from the 30-yard line. Lombard in the shotgun. Handoff Moore, trying to get the corner, turn to the left side, cuts it back up. Now bounce to the outside, going to be near the first down marker, but he's about a yard shy, fourth down.
I think that's the correct spot as much as I want to be biased and say he got there. I think he's just 1 yard shy.
Yeah.
And I think this is the right call. You bring out this elite punting unit that's really helped you in this game and really flipped the field. And it's just, at this stage in the game, you're up 14-3. You cannot risk not picking up this fourth down.
That's right.
This backed up into your own territory. So
if you're even maybe 10 yards further, you might think about it.
Yes, but right here, I love the call to just punt, flip the field.
Olsen launches another bomb. Not quite as high, but the fair catch called for and made all the way back to the 20-yard line. So that thing went 30, 40.
46 yards?
Yeah.
The man is a menace to the other team. I mean, that it's so important to have. I mean, it's such an advantage. I mean, you have just, again, flipped the field there. Yeah. What about a great offensive sequence from the Vipers? You start on your own 4-yard line after that huge, massive.
That's a good point.
Vital goal line stand. You took the ball 9 plays and moved it all the way out to the 33-yard line.
And you wasted clock.
And you wasted a ton of clock.
In a game where, again, points are already come by. You're up 14-3. Your entire objective right now is to just hang on to the football as long as possible.
Right.
Do not give the Dragons an opportunity to catch back up.
Trips here to the near side. 1st and 10 Dragons at their own 21-yard line. Stickler dropping back. Pump fake fires over to the left side. Got a receiver behind the defense up to the 30. And out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. They find Daniel Berry. On the coverage for Vandegrift was Chase Ritchie.
Cool play concept there, and they've been setting that play up. Yep. So number 2, the receiver on that side, that is Daniel Berry. He was lined up to block and faked like he was going to block and then just released down the field.
First down out to the 36-yard line. Stickler, handoff right side. There's that man again, Cochran, and the Viper defense made the adjustments. They've had some time to talk things over. And stacking up number 26, Cochran, for no gain in the play, second down.
Great job up front that time. That's number 55, Braden Altrudo. Also, we're looking at number 19 at that right defensive end. That's Jake Venuto. He made a super cool move to beat his blocker to the inside.
They gave him one, so 2nd and 9 from the 37-yard line. Stickler, handoff Cochran again, right side. No, he's going to keep it himself to the 40, up to the 45, and head first dive out to the 48-yard line to pick up the first down. Gutsy play there.
Well, all eyes are on number 26, the human wrecking ball for Brown Rock. Cochran, and a nifty scamper by one of the two quarterbacks we've seen tonight. Mr.
Surprised
Stickler.
that Brown Rock is being a little casual here.
Yeah, they really are.
This clock is flying by. First down and 10 at the Dragon 48-yard line. Stickler, draw play up the middle, and swallow it up, knocked down almost immediately. No gain on the play. Get up from the bottom of the pile. See with LeVar Vasquez.
Half a yard, maybe.
Yeah.
They ended up giving him a full yard on that one. I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, I'll tell you what, he broke another tackle there just to get back to the line of scrimmage of it. And the Vipers are swarming again. Had it figured out on that sequence.
Yeah, they've really keyed into this run game after that last drive.
Yeah.
That's, again, adjustments you make on the sideline. This unit has done a great job adjusting all night long and taking away stuff that's been working for the Dragons on the following drive.
2nd and 9. Swing pass, left side on the edge, complete up to the 50. Gets a block in the edge and knocked out at the 44-yard line. Carson Griffin on the reception, brought down by Tobias Gray and friends. Sets up a critical 3rd down, and let's call it 2 from the Viper 44.
3rd and 2. This is a huge 3rd down. This is the territory, and then at this point in the game when you're down 14-3, where this is a four down territory right here. So the Dragons have 2 more downs to pick up 2 yards.
Stickler in the shotgun. Handoff, and they might do it in one play. Diving forward is Cochran to the 41. First down, Round Rock.
Straight downhill out of that pistol set again. You know, get a big guy like that, a 7-yard head of steam. Tough to bring down.
Now the Dragons are moving quicker. First down, 10 to 41, and a timeout.
Yep, and I like the timeout by the Vipers here. You're up 14-3, so you don't feel like you need it for urgency later in the game, like to come back. Like you want hopefully not be in a situation where you need to stop the clock at this stage of the game. So right there, Dragons seem like they saw something they liked, go fast, and I like the timeout. That's a timeout decision by a veteran head coach, been around for 20 years, head coach. Really great decision to just stop there, calm everything down. Let's talk about it because there's a reason they were going fast. They saw something. So I like the timeout there.
All right, Hank, I'm assuming this means something to you. Leanne Gullett writes in, says, Hank, please use his government name, Manster.
Manster. I should have known that. Sorry, Leanne. Oh, the Gullets are awesome. One of the greatest families we've ever met in this neighborhood. Big Jack. I remember Jack, I've had him at Pop Warner for a couple of years. And then I hadn't seen him. You don't see the kids. Yeah. And then I was at HEB up there at 4 Points. And, hey, Coach Hudson. I started running for the exit. Big Jack, the Manster.
First down and 10 at the Viper 41-yard line after the Vandegrift timeout. Handoff up the middle again. Cochran gets inside the 40, down to the 38-yard line. Another 3 yards, 2nd down and 7. But the clock keeps ticking. Inside of 8 minutes to go. Vipers up by 11.
And Jack's one of those kids who just, you see the growth. It's kind of funny. He was in high school when I was in high school too, and he actually wrestled against me when he was also on the wrestling team. So I would wrestle against him, one of the few bigger guys on the team. And I'll get back to what I was saying after this play.
Second down and 7 from the Viper 38. Hand up again.
There he is.
There you go.
There he is.
And when you need a big play, number 9 shows up. And a little sack celebration there with Yavin Law in the backfield. I like the little tackle for loss dance.
Yeah.
3rd and long now for the Dragons.
Big play again from number 9, Hugo de la Vara Vasquez. What a player.
He leads them with 5 sacks, 11 tackles for loss, and he's had a couple tonight. 3rd and 9 from the 40-yard line.
Huge 3rd down here.
Yes, it is. To receivers right,
7
to the near
minutes left
side.
to go.
Stickler. Play action, looking. Pass over the center of the field. That ball is incomplete. Try to get it down the field to Dylan Yeager.
And great defense by Colt Stevens.
Right with him, stride for stride.
That's a sophomore who, I mean, he's blown me away this season.
Amen.
From when he first started, you're like, is this a sophomore out there playing defensive back? Because we were so thin at the position at the time. You were just like, we're looking for anybody that can play.
Right.
Just because of all the injuries that happened to the defense early on. And he has just become a star. 4th and long.
From the 40. Viper defense looking for a stop. Empty back set for Stickler. Dropping back. Pressure coming from the edge. Pocket starts to break down. Rolls wide. Fires underneath. Caught. And, broke free to the 30, the 27-yard line. They had the completion, but they were going to be short. But the receiver bouncing off and picks up the first down. That hurts.
And that's the risk of going for those big hits. Round Rock going fast, but didn't wrap him up there, able to bounce off and pick up the first down, a 4th and long.
At the 27-yard line. Now Cochran up the middle. He's going to be stacked up for maybe a yard to the 26. 2nd and 9. Clock still moving. 6.5 to go.
Round Rock.
Time is on our side.
Now in a hurry because they feel the pressure of this clock. You're down 11 points, 6 minutes and 20 seconds left.
This is, time is already a factor, even with 6 minutes left, because they're not getting these huge chunks of plays. They're moving the ball. They're taking time off the clock. Vipers are in position A with regard to the clock.
2nd and 9 from the 26. Trips here to the near side. Empty back set again for Stickler. Dropping back. Vipers bring the blitz. Here he throws it and incomplete.
There's that man again.
Coming in untouched was Colt Stevens.
That kid can play football.
Yeah. Yes, he can.
I mean, the other thing about the other sequence when he was in coverage, that's a seam route right up the middle of the field. If he's not on that route, that's a touchdown. You got receivers split all the way out to the numbers, and that position in the center of the field as a safety is so critical, and it's hard to see that route coming sometimes. The guys lined up on the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 9 from the Viper 26. Dropping back, rolling left. Stickler in trouble. Now back to his right. Has to throw it up for grabs. Complete at the 20.
Wow.
And has a first down to the 15. Still on his feet to the 10. And stepped out of bounds at about the 4-yard line. 2 busted plays are bailing out the Round Rock offense here.
I mean, my goodness. You have the pressure comes in from Venuto. And the whole, I mean, at number 12, Stickler was running for his life as soon as the play started.
Right.
PVV was involved there too, and it's just insane. He's able to get the throw off while being hit, and again, defensive back there in coverage just doesn't fully wrap with the wide receiver, and this is what Round Rock's done all night long. They just fight through these not complete tackles. The Vipers have struggled with it, and they continue to just pick up these yards after catch after attempted tackles that are missed.
Silver lining, the ball was spotted at the 10. That helps a little bit. 1st and goal from the 10. Handoff up the middle, Cochran.
There you go.
And Viper defense has responded to this run up the middle stuff pretty well. It's the goofy plays on 3rd and 4th and long that have hurt him here in this drive.
Well, but full credit to Stickler. I mean, that was just a great football play.
Yeah.
I mean, he managed to stay elusive, keep his head downfield, his eyes downfield.
Yeah. The ability to find his receiver there was very impressive.
Yeah, very impressive play.
2nd and goal from the 10. 5:20 and counting to go in regulation time. Vipers by 11. Hutto 31, McNeil 28, 3rd quarter. McNeil creeping closer. 2 receivers right, 2 to the near side on a 2nd and goal. Stickler dropping back, looking. Sack!
Dropped.
Who's that?
From the backside.
Oh, there he is, Parker Davis.
Parker Davis from the far side. And I tell you what, Stickler was fortunate to hang out of that football.
He sure was.
I mean, completely blindsided. Parker Davis comes in, man on a mission with some force right there.
Right.
And that is what the Viper defense needed here. Again, they're getting inside that 10-yard line. All of a sudden, the Viper defense flips a switch.
Got him right where we want him.
We wanted you right near the goal line. That's right where we want him. That's right on, Merle. And now it's 3rd and goal from the
27. 17. Pardon me.
17. So not an easy task here.
3rd down and goal from the 17-yard line. Stickler dropping back, looking. Good protection this time. Fires left side complete to the one into the end zone touchdown.
Great throw and catch.
Griffin.
What can you say? The coverage wasn't bad. We got a little bit of a push-up field, but that's just a great delivery by Stickler.
Yes.
Into a very small window there, so well executed by Round Rock. And we were expecting a tight game, and it looks like we're going to get that in spades, and they're going to kick here.
They're going to kick here. I don't
What are they
understand this
doing?
move.
I don't understand this at all.
Got to watch for maybe a fake field goal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good snap and hold. Kick is up.
Blocked.
It's blocked.
He's going to go. He's going to go.
Right to the 30, to the 40, to the 50, back to the 40.
Oh, he's running out of gas.
No, thrown down from behind, man. He pounding the carpet is Chase Ritchie.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my.
Wow.
I mean, that was an opportunity to – you go up 9 to 16. That would have been a 7-point game.
That's right.
Man, almost gets there. He looked like he was literally ran out of gas.
I think he ran out of gas. I mean, it's a 100-yard sprint. I mean, it is. Normal humans can't do that. So
and again, another question of why you kick an
I
extra point
don't
there.
understand that at all.
Because 5 points or 4 points makes no difference.
Yes, exactly.
You still need a touchdown.
And you've hit on a field goal earlier, so your kicker, obviously, you can trust him. And when you get into a certain range, it was an accurate kick down the middle. So I don't know why you at least attempt a 2-point, and then all you need is a field goal to tie it up against an offense that only has 14 points tonight. This is a low-scoring game. So, yeah, I really don't understand the decision. I mean, you said it, Merle. I don't understand why they didn't go for 2 there.
So 14-9. I mean, and what a weird drive. I mean, the Viper defense would play so well, and Ron Rock could get a busted play and then a good play for the scoring touchdown.
Yeah, but that's kind of been what we've seen all year. I mean, I hate to see the 3rd and longs. You know, you said 3rd and 17. I'm like, man, this feels like they might just get a touchdown on this play. Just because, for whatever reason, the Viper defense does a great job of getting those 3rd and longs and 4th and longs, but there's just something about that situation that the coverage just breaks down or whatever, and the opposing team always finds a little soft spot for the wide receiver to make a play.
So keep your
onside kick is forthcoming, gentlemen.
Irizarry has it teed up at the 40. A lot of little numbers around. There's that high hop, and it's a loose football. Scramble for it, still loose.
Oh my gosh!
I had no idea. I think
absolutely unbelievable sequence there, and the Vipers maintain possession after
heart attack
after
up here.
3 failed attempts to to collect the football. I think, I mean, my goodness, what a sequence of events there.
I have no idea who came up with it, but it was somebody in a white shirt.
And it's so hard, those onside kicks. It was also not even 10 yards yet. So if you make the decision as a player to make an aggressive leap for that before 10 yards, you have to secure the football and just bounce off the chest of whoever it was that went for it.
Okay, guys.
Almost disastrous. But now you get good field position.
We've got to have some points on the board here. You're starting on your own 44-yard line, 4 minutes left.
4:03 to be precise. One receiver left. First down, Vipers at the 44. Hand off Moore. Breaks the first tackle. Still in his feet. Still in his fumble. But I think it bounced right back up to him.
Wow. Vipers living dangerously, and there is a flag on the play.
Oh, there is a flag on the far side. Yeah, it's about a 7-yard pickup, but we'll check the flag.
Illegal substitution, maybe?
Yeah, so what turned into a really nice run by Moore. Just continue to bounce off tackles, and that's exactly what you want out of this offense on first down.
Face mask.
Face mask. We'll take it.
That is a huge penalty.
I was going to say, I did see his helmet snap back a little bit right as he first contact. But you never know at this stage what the refs are going to call or what's going on. And, 15 yards at the end of that run.
You're almost in field goal range.
I mean, you're just about in it. So, and then a field goal here. 3 minutes, 55 seconds left. It's 14-9. A field goal makes it an 8-point game. And so then for the Dragons to get that point blocked is so huge because then you have to go for 2 to tie it up if you get a field goal here for the Vipers.
Trips wide left. First down. 5 yards the other way. Of course, Vipers are pointing at Round Rock.
Went on a hard count there and just.
This is one of those times where the Dragons jump in the neutral zone, but as an offensive lineman, you're taught to kind of reach out if you can.
Right.
And I believe there was contact. So
if there's contact,
should be on the Dragons.
Offside.
There we go.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Really nice play
and
by the left guard there.
Do not understand they don't understand what you're talking about, Matt.
No, they don't. They don't know ball. They don't know ball. And that's number 60. Is that 63?
63.
The left guard.
Left guard.
That is
Chase. No, excuse me.
It's Caden O'Rourke. What a heads up. That is a textbook offensive line play to get your offense 5 yards. Add to his stat sheet, 5-yard gain.
So 1st and 5 from the 17-yard line now. Trips still wide left in a triangle. 3:31 and counting to go. Vipers clinging to a 5-point lead.
5 seconds left in the play clock.
They don't get it off.
I think Coach Sanders may have called a
timeout.
timeout.
Yes,
yeah.
that's
a smart timeout.
Heads up coaching there on the sidelines by Coach Drew Sanders is the waning play clock would have expired. The Vipers would have had to take a 5-yard penalty, and that's just that's a smart call by the head coach of the football team right there to save your team 5 important yards. You're in 1st and 5, and in a position here to maybe have the opportunity to to put this game away if you get a touchdown, but you also have the opportunity, Matt, to drain the clock.
Yes.
Right. You've only got now. Round Rock does have all 3 timeouts remaining,
plus the 2-minute timeout.
So there's plenty of football left to be played. Points on the board are very important.
I'm loving the timeouts right now from Coach Sanders. That is a coach that has 20 years of head coaching experience.
That's right.
All the timeouts tonight have been perfectly timed and really gotten his team out of a couple of jams.
One eye watching his quarterback, one eye watching that play clock tick down. 1st and 5 still from the 17-yard line. Lombard hands it off to Moore, swallowed up and driven backwards. That was a big-time play right there by, I think it's number 99, Peyton Johnson.
That is.
Only a sophomore.
He's just a sophomore.
Yeah, he's a pretty big sophomore.
What
does he tell me he's a senior? I believe you. That's a big kid.
What are you feeding him over here?
Yeah, I think the Round Rock called the timeout here, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for the Vipers to call timeout at this stage in the game, so I'm assuming that's a.
Yeah, it came off the scoreboard for Round Rock.
So Round Rock timeout here. You want to stop the clock and try and get the ball back before the 2-minute timeout. That's kind of your goal here.
Yep. Exactly right.
So you're still down 5 points. The Vipers are, I think at this point, within Olson's field goal range.
I'd say it'd be a 37-yarder from here. And while the Olson on the season is 8 out of 9, he had 3 field goals last week with a long of 44. So they're definitely within range. So I don't know what the wind is doing down there. It's
blowing at our backs right now with how this flag's kind of blowing. So I think the wind would help them out with the kick distance a little bit. So I think they're within range, and how Olson's been, I'd be pretty confident in that. And that would make it an 8-point game. So that just, again, why the extra point? Because,
yeah, that's a really strange call.
Either way, now you have to go for 2 points to even tie it if the Vipers end up with a field goal on this drive.
3:10 to go. 2 receivers left, one to the near side. 2nd down and 8 from back at the 20. Lombard in the shotgun. Moore in the pistol behind him. And it's a reverse to Chilton. Gets a great block on the edge of the 20. And does a nice job, first of all, by the Round Rock defense to string that along. But a heads-up play by Chilton to slide down and stay in bounds, forced the Dragons to burn a timeout.
High football IQ there by Chilton, and it looked like he had some room to run over there. There was green space to run to, but closed up quickly. And a heads-up football play by number 1 in your program, number 1 in your heart, Brock Chilton.
Yeah.
Getting down, not risking the chance of going out of bounds.
Right.
Yeah, that's a senior leader captain play right there, decision where, a lot of other players, a lot of other teams, whatever, would try and make a man miss and then end up getting pushed out of bounds and saving the Round Rock Dragons a timeout. So I think that's such a heads-up play. He recognizes, hey, there's nowhere else to go here. Let's go down. The Dragon defense had him that time. So a really nice heads-up play, forced timeout. So the Dragons have 1 timeout remaining. 3 minutes and 3 seconds remaining on this clock. It is now 3rd down and about 9. So the Vipers, obviously here, they have to run the football. They're going to try and probably do something a little unique in the run game to pick up a 9-yard carry on the ground. But I would be so surprised if they throw the football at all.
Me too.
Just because it would stop the clock, especially after you just had a slide to keep the clock rolling.
Yeah, I think we're going to see pretty obvious, everybody to say the Vipers are going to run the ball, which is the right call.
Moore to the left, Chilton to the right side of Lombard. Now Chilton goes to motion. They might swing it to him. No, it's a draw play to Moore up the middle. Now bounce to the right side and makes the first man miss to the 20 and to the 15. Hit hard at the 15-yard line. He's about 2 yards shy of the first down. And now some pushing and shoving on the sidelines. Got to keep it cool here.
Did they keep the clock running, or did they?
No, he got knocked out of bounds, so the clock is going to stop. But I think right there you can kind of be okay with it because he's so close to getting that first down.
Right.
He's got to fight for it. If you get that first down, the game is essentially almost out of reach. So I'm fine with him fighting for those extra yardage there. A little bit of an aggressive hit on the sideline, but no flag. That's why you see the little extra shoving there by the lineman. They didn't like that very much. And now you get out the weapon. Wiley Olson here, and this is well within his range.
The asset.
He knocks this one through. It brings the Vipers up 8 points with 2 minutes and 55 seconds remaining on the clock.
It'll be a 31-yarder from the near hash out of the hold of Lawson Lombard for an 8-point lead. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. It's got the leg, and it is good.
Right down the middle. The asset delivers again. Activate the asset. I mean, that guy is unbelievable. Perfect snap by number 84. That's Tyler Solo. Perfect hold by number 11, Lawson Lombard. And I'll tell you what, guys, we've got a golden-toed kicker, that's for sure, and number 35, Wiley Olson.
Ice in his veins. There you go. Right when you need him, a clutch kick comes through. Really nice job by Olson there. And now, 8-point game, 17-9, 2 minutes, 50 seconds left. The Dragons have one timeout remaining, and, of course, the 2-minute timeout.
Right.
But with how they're moving the football, they've been taking a long time to score. And to tie up the game, not win the game, to tie up the game, you have to get a two-point conversion. And that, again, two-point conversion is just basically a goal line stand, which the Viper defense has been so great tonight. So it is not an easy task for the Dragons to tie up the football game. That's the best they can do right now, is tie it up and hopefully send it to overtime at this stage of the game. That's what they're hoping for. That's their best-case scenario. So the Viper defense has an opportunity here to end this one with a stop.
38-35, Hutto over McNeil, late third quarter. 27-24, Westwood over Vista Ridge, 3:30 to go third quarter. It is tightening up across the district on the final night of the regular season.
Over Vista Ridge. That is, I would not have expected that right now.
No, me neither. So Olson set to kick off from the 40-yard line with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in regulation time. And he just pounds that thing into and out of the end zone. So no return possible. The Viper defense, which has played lights out tonight, with the exception of a couple of busted plays.
A couple of big plays. Credit to the Round Rock Dragons. I mean, they're getting withering pressure. The quarterbacks, Stickler and Appel, have been, they've been pressured, and Stickler specifically has been making some really unbelievably spectacular plays in garbage situations, and credit to him and the Round Rock coaching staff. Just a whale of a football game.
Stickler out there for this drive.
He's just a junior. He'll be back next year. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left. Dragons with one timeout to start the drive from the 25-yard line. Play action pass. Pass over the center of the field. That ball could be, it's somehow caught at the 50-yard line. To the near sideline, to the 45, and escorted out of bounds by Tobias Gray. There were three white shirts back waiting for the interception, and somehow Round Rock wound up with the football.
Well, it was underthrown, Merle. So, I think that's a very tough situation for a defender, and the receiver there, Daniel Berry, did a nice job adjusting to the football.
All the way to the Viper 38 on one play. Stickler dropping back. Pressure coming again. Pass over the center of the field, and incomplete, and almost intercepted. Gray again in the vicinity. On the coverage for Vandegrift was Colt Stevens.
Yeah, and it's like Gray and the rest of the DBs weren't really expecting the ball to be catchable.
Yeah,
they weren't really ready for it. But Stickler is throwing this ball with reckless abandon right now. I mean, he has no regard for where this football is landing. Honestly, that last big play was really credit to Daniel Berry hauling in
made a great
inaccurate pass, makes a great adjustment, and then has a great run after the catch there.
2nd and 10, Dragons from the Viper 38. 2:33 to go in regulation time. Stickler in the shotgun. Play action, looking, rolling to his right, fires over the right side. That ball is incomplete. Nearest man to it was Dylan Yeager. That's up to be 3rd and long.
3rd and long, and the Vipers
our
pressure there.
Down in distance.
You only rush 3, Matt Sanders, so that means you've got a full complement of defensive backs back there to defend the pass, and the windows are very small right now. And even the completion, as we talked about, was underthrown, and Barry, the receiver, made a great adjustment, but Vipers are looking like they're about to pick one off.
3rd and 10 from the 38. Cochran goes in motion. Stickler dropping back, setting up a screen pass, complete on the edge, and it's going to be dropped finally.
He fumbles the ball out of bounds.
Man, oh man, down the Barry refused to go down, broke a couple of tackles, but the Vipers finally knock him out of bounds, and it sets up a 4th down. This might essentially be your ball game.
And
Brady Cernick got there first, and I think he managed to poke the ball free a little bit, and then as we've seen, the Vipers are notorious for swarming to the football,
right.
So even though he didn't bring him down, he did get a loss of 4 yards.
And Barry wasn't tackled out of bounds, so they rolled the clock on that one, which is huge for the Vipers. So clock doesn't stop, and that takes it all the way down to the 2-minute timeout. So 2 minutes left to play, 17-9. It is now 4th and forever, but I feel like right now it doesn't really matter.
That's right.
So the Dragons, so far in the second half at least, have just found ways to create miracle plays. So I think in this huddle right now, if you're the Viper defense, we're not going for big hits.
Right.
We're not going for interceptions. Tackle the man who has the football and bring him to the ground, because that is what has sprung these big plays. A lot of the passes aren't even past the sticks. They're to a wide receiver that is, 5 or 6 yards away from the first down, and then we're just going for a big hit and whiffing. We're going for an interception whiffing, and the wide receiver is doing the rest of the work and making a big gain.
It's going to be interesting here, Merle, to see what kind of pressure package Coach Sanders dials up, because I don't get the sense that Stickler's going to beat us with a hyper accurate throw based on what we've seen so far. So you think maybe rush 3 or maybe 4 guys here, and see if he can fit the ball into one of those tight windows.
I think you bring a 4-man pressure here. You want to speed up the clock just a little bit.
Here we go. 4th and 14 from the Viper 42.
Dragons confused. No one's lining up correctly.
Nope.
I mean,
now they get everybody in position. One receiver right, 2 to the near side. Stickler dropping back. Pressure coming from the edge. Pass over to the left side. Somehow caught again at the 25 to the 20. 15-10. Knocked out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Somehow they did it again.
Unbelievable. What a great catch. I mean, number 2 is having a whale of a football game. That's Daniel Berry.
Big wide receiver. I mean, he looks like he's over 6. I don't know if we've got his thing on here, but he looks over 6 feet, 6'2", 6'3" out there. Big frame. And, I mean, the ball is just put right where only he can catch it. The Viper defender's there, goes for the swat to knock it down, and is just past the fingertips. So it is now 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Vipers have to make another goal line stand here.
Trips wide right, 1 to the near side. Cochran in the pistol. They give it to him. Off the left guard, and he gets toward the goal line. He's into the end zone. Touchdown.
All right. Grief. What a football game.
1 minute and 46 seconds remaining on this clock.
That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time left.
Yeah. Vipers have 1 timeout. Dragons have 1 timeout. And the Dragons, though, they're down 2 points, 15-17. So they have to get a 2-point conversion here to tie the game.
That's
this isn't for the win. This is for the tie. They choose to go on the right hash.
Man, oh man, Vipers had this game won so many times.
I mean, this is a drama of Shakespearean proportions, what we're seeing tonight. This is a great football game.
2-point conversion. Ball spotted at the 3-yard line for the tie. Swing pass, left side on the edge, and into the end zone. We're tied up. Dylan Yeager ties it up.
We have a tie football game after taking off all but 1 minute and 46 seconds of the game clock. And I mean, this is a really good football team. We're watching 2 well-coached football teams executing when it matters. We've seen a lot of big plays from both sides tonight, and the Brown Rock Dragons do it there, tie the game at 17, and very interesting. 1 minute and 46 seconds left on the clock. What are the Vipers going to do? We haven't seen them move the ball down the field with pace. So we'll see what happens. Do you take it and try to get to overtime, Matt Sanders?
Yeah, this is one of those situations where you do not want to give the ball back to the Dragon offense.
Right.
Just because of this second half, they've gone from a offense that has just struggled to finding these random explosive plays on from up here from a spectator's point of view. They don't look like they should work. But yet they work, like a great, amazing catch and then a run or a couple broken tackles.
Right.
And it turns from a mundane play into an explosive play off of those little mistakes from the Viper defense. So just with how the offense is playing, it's really been just some Dragon magic in the air in the second half. They've come back, stormed back down that deficit. So I think you have you want to see how the first couple plays go, and if it doesn't go your way, you might want to just take it to OT.
He's lining up like he's going to try an onside kick here. I would be shocked if they did that.
Timeout Vipers. I would be too. I would be too.
Yeah, with how Olsen's kicking, you just don't want to give them any closer to field goal range because a field goal wins this game.
You know what's interesting? Yeah, what's interesting to me about that 2-point play, head coach Cody Moore over there is that's their if most offenses have a base play.
Right.
That's their base play. That's their bread and butter play. They didn't go with something exotic. They just said we're going to line up and run our offense in that situation, and they executed there. They do a good job blocking on the perimeter. And, the Vipers have tried some different stuff to stop that play tonight, but they pulled it off there, and they, tied the football game up.
That's the bad news. The good news is the Vipers will get it back, or should get it back, with 1:46 to go, a little less than that, depending on what happens on this kickoff. And we'll have one timeout to work with. Actually, no timeout.
No timeout.
Just call a timeout there because, again, they saw some weird look on the kick. They didn't like what they saw.
Yep. Well, after that last onside kick, maybe they're brimming with confidence that they can execute another one. But, the kicker on the last onside kick, that was a very good onside kick. It took an absolutely, ridiculous bounce. This number 7, their kicker, that is Santiago Irizarry. So, he looks like they may be doing it again.
Yeah, Vipers come out in a hands formation. Hands team is out there, with only one lone returner back. Ontario Jackman's back there at the 20-yard line. So let's see. Yeah, it looks like they're going for another little onside pooch with how they're lining up here for the Dragons.
Yeah, now he retreats into a more traditional approach and does kick it over to the far sideline. And it's going to be a fair catch call for him and made it to the 20-yard line. I kind of hate that fair catch because he had a lot of grass in front of him. But I get it.
Yeah, I do too. That may be by design as well. And but you get the ball on the 25-yard line now, and
it's Cernchik with the fair catch, and he's not a normal kind of returner back there.
Right.
So I think it's just one of those things where, okay, you bring out the hands team, and then he's literally getting yelled at from the sideline, like, "Hey, you need to back up because they might do a regular kick to your side just because they only have Ontario back there on the right side of the field." And that's exactly what happens. And so he's not normally used to fielding the kick, so the nerves there. You just take the fair catch, and you don't want to make a massive mistake. So Vipers start with the football at the 25-yard line.
So
1 minute and 46 seconds left.
One receiver left to the near side. Handoff, Moore, up the middle. Both hands on the football, up to the 30-yard line. Gain of 5, maybe 6, second down and 4. Dragons do have one timeout remaining should they choose to use it. Vipers, I think, content to get to overtime and regroup here.
Yeah, not in a huge hurry. Like, obviously, that was a good first play.
Yeah.
You want to, keep chugging along, but, you have a backup quarterback. So in these situations, it doesn't lend yourself to much of an advantage here with just a lack of experience throwing it downfield.
Trips to the near side. And again, handoff right side, Moore. Oh, big hit there at the 34-yard line. Stacked up a yard shy of the first down. 3rd and 1.
And I think because of not getting that first down there, you are content to let this clock go. The Vipers, and especially after using that last time out after the kick, you are content with going to OT here. And this is not NFL. Well, now NFL, both teams get a shot, but this is high school OT where both teams get plenty of chances here.
Yep. So one receiver to the left, 3rd down and 1. Game clock down to 30 seconds. And handoff will have the first down at least, so the Vipers will be able to hang on to the ball and will reach overtime. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. Right now, 23 seconds left.
Well, in a game like this, I can't imagine the game being decided by anything is more random than overtime because it's two well-coached football teams, and it'll be a really fascinating matchup of two head coaches.
The clock is ticking down, and I think we're gonna go to overtime. Yep. We haven't had one all season.
This is, can you ask for a better game to end the season?
Oh man,
Round Rock versus Vandegrift, 17-17. We're going to overtime. My goodness, and the Dragons fought back with some magic at the home field tonight.
Yeah.
Crowd behind them.
It is a raucous, rabid crowd tonight. They're making a lot of noise. The booth is literally shaking. So it's a really exciting atmosphere up here.
Huddle's starting to pull away now, 45-25 over McNeil.
So that game looks to be about dusted. What's the score of the Westwood
Last I
game?
heard, Vista Ridge had gone back on in front, 31-27.
So McNeil, at this point, I'm sure the coaches, at least up in the booth, they're probably score watching this game.
Right.
Because if Round Rock were to knock off Vandegrift, McNeil is in the playoffs. If Vandegrift wins, they win the district title. McNeil would be out if Vista takes care of Westwood.
Right.
They're still watching that Westwood game. If Westwood happens to upset Vista, then McNeil would still be in the playoffs. So Hutto looks like it's taking care of business and is at least guaranteeing itself a share of the district title.
Right.
If the Vipers were to fall tonight, then the Huttos would be the outright district champs.
Yeah. I don't know. They put some more time back on the clock and let it tick down again. So now we're officially in overtime. That's what's going on out there.
And both head coaches out there meeting at center field to do the coin toss. So
it's a coin toss, ball to 25, right? Each team gets one chance with the football. And if it's still tied after the first overtime, they have to start going for two, I believe, right?
Yeah, so I think it starts at 25 and then it moves into the 2-point conversion period. I had only played in I've played in 2 overtimes. I believe the second overtime period is still at the 20. I think it's at 20.
The third overtime
The third
period.
overtime's 2 points.
Yeah, 2 points.
Because when we played Klein College in the playoff game, we had 2 drives that started at the 25 or 20. I don't know if they move it up 5 yards or they just let you go to the 25 again. But we did that twice. I remember that, and then we won the game before
that was quite a football game.
That was the most insane upset we had ever pulled off. We had no business at all. They had multiple players on that team.
They're in the NFL now.
Are in the NFL, and I don't think we have any players on that team for the Vipers in the NFL, and we ended up upsetting them in double OT. I mean,
in
that's
Houston,
the most,
no
less. In their hometown. Like that was one of the most insane playoff games I had ever been a part of. It. You just see it. That's why high school football is so great. You see teams that.
The referee just fumbled the coin for the coin flip. You see that?
I did see that. They're reflipping it.
I guess the referee's nervous as well. I mean, it's a very tense situation.
So it looks like the Dragons pointed which end zone they're going for, going that way. And I believe that means the Dragons will start with the football,
which is what you want.
Yes.
If you're the Vipers,
because then you get to respond. Because if you stop them and they kick a field goal, then you know what you have to do.
Right.
And to win the game, you get a little opportunity there. So, and then it puts more pressure on the Dragons on that 4th down.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, if we get a field goal, is that going to be enough? And so that's when that's a harder decision there if you're going first in this situation. So Vipers,
we've really seen the Dragons pull the rabbit out of a hat on numerous occasions this evening. So Vipers have had a pretty solid defensive performance, but I mean, they had the ball for 3 possessions in that second half into regulation, but all 3 of those drives went over 10 plays.
Right. So 1st and 10 Dragons at the 25-yard line. No clock here now. The handoff up the middle, and Cochran's going to be. Well, he was stacked up, but he managed to fall forward for about 4 yards on the play. 2nd down and 6 down to the Viper 21-yard line.
And that's why he's such a great back. He just cannot be stopped by one tackler. Right. You need a whole gang there, and Vipers just couldn't bring him down. He stopped up right at right at the line of scrimmage. But
Looked like we had him. But 4 yards.
2nd and 6 from the 21. One receiver left, trips to the near side. They'll stick with the quarterback. Handoff again, up the middle again, and this time Vandegrift swarms the football. No gain to the play. 3rd and 6 from the 21-yard line.
I think that's a different ball carrier for the first time since I can remember. That was number 18, I think, on the carry.
That would be Jonah Mussey. He's a tight end.
No, that was 26.
It was 26? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
18 was on the play, blocking in that pile there. But
so big play here, 3rd and 6 from the 21-yard line. Mussey does, now he goes in motion out to the left side. 2 receivers left, 2 to the near side. Stickler, play action, in trouble, and has to throw that away. That might be grounding. Coming in untouched was LeVar Vasquez. I don't see anybody.
The ball did not make it back to the line of scrimmage.
No.
So
that's what the coaches are saying.
I don't understand what's going on here.
I think they're not throwing the flag because maybe Cochran was in the vicinity
Oh,
he was there pass proing, but he was not looking for the football. And generous.
I mean, that's a very loosely defined vicinity.
Yes,
that's the interpretation.
That's what I think they decided on not throwing the flag there. I disagree with the call, but
that's
I think that's what they saw.
That's an unbelievable no call.
The Dragons line up for a field goal
37-yarder.
Not an easy kick. One already blocked.
Low snap. And blocked again. Blocked again over to the far side. This is returnable.
He's going to go for a touchdown.
Oh, my goodness.
He's going to go the whole way.
30,
oh, my goodness.
The Vipers going to win it.
Absolutely extraordinary. Is that Tobias Gray?
It's Tobias Gray.
Absolutely amazing, gentlemen. You win the game on a blocked field goal in overtime? Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me?
This is... I mean, you can't ask for a better end of the season. The sideline's going absolutely crazy. The Dragons are stunned. The last kick they had on the PAT was blocked.
Right.
Another, not a great snap, and the Vipers dial up that pressure again that worked last time. It worked again. The pressure gets there.
Stunning.
Kick blocked.
Bad snap, and that's all the Vipers
That's
needed.
all I needed. And
Stunning.
that is over.
Stunning conclusion. Absolutely flabbergasted.
I mean, can you get a better end of a game to that?
Oh, my
God. Quick and easy. There you go. Didn't even have to ask the offense to get out there. Defense says, don't worry. We'll take care of this one.
Just when you think you've seen it all, ladies and gentlemen, the Vipers deliver another magic moment.
23-17, final in overtime on a blocked field goal return for a touchdown. And the Vandegrift Vipers are guaranteed at least a share of the District 25-6A title for an 8th straight season.
What a finish.
23-17.
It's unbelievable.
Wow. Unbelievable. I'm still stunned. From the Vipers had an excellent first half controlling the game.
Right.
Then they go out and immediately kind of score. They're up 14-3, and then the Dragons have some sort of home crowd, home field magic where all these crazy plays.
Right.
4th and longs, 3rd and longs, converting for touchdowns, and I'm a little sweating. I'm starting to sweat up here because I'm like, okay, this is defense is playing good, but just giving up these big plays. And when you need them, the defense stands tall and decides, hey, we're done. We're done playing this game. We're going to stop them. What a great sequence there, forcing the field goal immediately. It's basically essentially a 3-and-out from the 25.
Exactly, yeah.
You force the kick. What a great defensive series. And they dial up that same block they got earlier. And that's why I was like, it's not an easy kick, and they already have one block.
That's right.
There it goes.
And Tobias Gray came out of the mist. I mean, it was like this cloud over there. You couldn't see any individual players, and he just emerged. It's like the phoenix rising out of the ashes and goes, 85 yards the other direction. I think you feel about the 20, 80 yards the other direction. Absolutely spectacular.
I'm guessing Tobias Gray might be faster than Chase Richards.
Yes,
he got his to the house.
Yeah, he got his to the house.
I'll say his 40-yard dash time's a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a little bit more conditioned there, but man, that right place, right time for Tobias Gray, and what a great player because he's such a great athlete.
Yeah.
And I lost football completely. I was just happy the kick was blocked at all because at that point, all you need is a field goal. And Wiley Olsen's been so accurate, so I was just hyped up to get a field goal block. And all of a sudden, Tobias Gray emerges with the football. No one around him as he's being escorted by his teammates in the end zone. I mean, what an ending to a spectacular game, ending of a season. And that is how you win a district title. That's a perfect ending to the season right there.
We've seen a lot of magic moments watching the Vipers, but that's a special moment right there for this Viper.
And what they've
absolutely
had to fight
right.
This year.
Absolutely right. I mean, what a special moment.
And you got to tip your cap to Round Rock. They were down 14-3, going absolutely nowhere, doing absolutely nothing. They stormed back and forced that overtime in the first place. So
this is why you love high school football right here. I mean, you get to see moments like that, absolutely extraordinary.
Wow. Don't even know what to say after
all that.
We got any
score updates from what's going on?
I'm looking, actually, yeah. Westwood has jumped back on top of Vista Ridge, 34-31, 10:15 to go fourth quarter. Both the Westwood game and the Vista Ridge game against Hutto are on Vype, although Vista Ridge is pay-per-view. But you can check that out. It sounded like Hutto was kind of pulling away. Cedar Park leading Georgetown 46-30. Let me check in on, while we got a moment here.
I bet there was some disgruntled coaches in the press box watching the McNeil coaches.
Yeah.
What's the score in that game? What do we have?
Last I heard it was a 45-25. Huddle was up on top.
Look
at this one. 35-35, Westlake and Dripping Springs.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Vipers will meet the loser of that one.
Yeah.
There is a magic in the air tonight in Central Texas. All of these classic matchups, all going down to the wire. It doesn't get any better than Texas high school football in November and possibly December.
Well, we are going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to hear from Coach Sanders a couple of times. First, on his sayings. We've already done the hallmarks and that kind of thing, but we'll hear from Coach Sanders as he talks about a classic, and it really applies after what we just saw down on the field. And then Brian Spiels will talk to Coach Sanders on the sideline after he talks to the players. We'll be back to wrap it up. What a wild one. The regular season is over, and the Vipers are co-district champs at least, 23-17, final in overtime. Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. In a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
Card My Yard. When good news comes your way, skip the card and stake the yard. It's the easiest way to decorate for any celebration. We do all the work for you. Book your order online and we'll set up the surprise and take down the decorations afterwards. Grand opening, anniversary, or any special occasion. Card My Yard. 95 franchises throughout the U.S. Now a proud sponsor of your school. Visit cardmyyard.com today.
Hey Viper fans, Coach Sanders with our Viper Minute. This is where we touch on the basics of Viper football besides the X's and O's. We've talked about our hallmarks, we've talked about our questions, our results. So now we kind of get into the sayings that guide us, and there's no more important saying than the simple bulleted phrase of ETW, and that stands for, those that don't know, expect to win. That is the very first thing that I put on our shirts that we wear as a staff and as a program. And that doesn't sound like that big a deal, but it really was. You're coming from a super winning program in Cedar Park. You've got Lake Travis and Westlake all surrounding you, and everybody's asking you, when's our first state championship coming, and I'm like, man, can I just get some uniforms and helmets? But we hung on to this theory of we're going to expect good things to happen, and that's what ETW means. And so even our first year, we went 4-6, but I'm telling you, I feel like, and it'd be interesting, Merle, for you to ask my former players, but I feel like we did a good job of getting those players to believe they could win every game, even the Cedar Park game when we lost 59-3. Before the game, I wanted them to think, yes, some things have to happen perfectly our way, but we have a chance to win this game, And I think that expecting to win is the only way to go, and it's the only way you ever have a chance to win. Because if you come in going, well, if this happens and this happens, maybe, well, there's no way you're going to win, not consistently. And so I think that also is true in life, too. Person starting a business, you've got to have an overall positive attitude, enthusiastic attitude about what you're trying to accomplish, or you're not accomplishing anything. And so I think that ETW has really helped me throughout my coaching career. I think it's proven over the last couple of decades we've been doing Viper football that we do truly expect to win. When we're down in a game, you better hang on because we're going to be coming back soon. And so I think that's what that means. It can apply to all areas of your life. Expect to win.
Yeah, welcome back to Dragon Stadium. I actually didn't mean to hit that commercial, but ETW, expect to win. The Vipers are up. They're not dominating the game, but they're doing what they have to do to win, Matt, as Hank tabulates the stats. All of a sudden, Round Rock catches fire. A couple of great plays, a couple of lucky breaks here and there. And the Vipers had to be wondering, are we going to give this game away? What's going to happen? And somehow they dig deep and pull it out on a spectacular play.
Yeah, and I think that's just that's kind of been the, we've talked about it before this season. That was what the Viper teams of old was, and it's like just finding the ways to win, no matter what's going on. And, it's, whether it's a special teams touchdown or offense having a big game or defense having a big game, like just finding whatever you need to do to win those games, those big games and those big moments. And, and I feel like we talked about it, like with how dominant the state championship team was, and then the team before that and the team before that. When we went to state for the first time, and then the year before we were really dominant, and then the year we won when we were really dominant, we just kind of got used to just rolling people, and sometimes, every team is different. Every single year in high school football, you have a completely new team. That's what makes it so exciting year over year. You're going to see new guys step up, fill those spots as seniors leave, and it's just the magic of the sport. Every team is different, and it was the identity of the team for so long, and what the Vipers were, to win the tough games. You're always going to be the dogfight with the Vipers, but they're coming out on top in the fourth quarter. They're finding a way to win, and that's what the culture is. And I think we got away from it a little bit because we were so good. Spoiled a little bit too much, and people kind of forgot what that was like. That scrappy football the Vipers are so used to playing, and we're back to it now. This was a Viper football win. I mean, I'm so happy with this one tonight, winning the district title in that way. It just brings me back to what the Vipers were when they were first starting in 6A and all those teams before they became the juggernauts they were a couple years ago, or last year and the year before that.
Right.
Back to, hey, we're a little scrappy, but those teams, every single Viper team has found ways to win in those close games, and that's what the playoffs is. So this team because of the experience they've had and the wins they've had, can easily go the distance in the playoffs because of that experience and that fight they have.
What a performance by the Vipers tonight. Piggyback on everything you just said, Matt, and I mean, just a special moment. That moment will etch itself into the long and illustrious history of Viper lore. Just a really magical moment there for number 8, Tobias Gray. So, he's being interviewed, I think, by the television station right now as we speak, or some journalist. But, Tobias Gray tonight, interception, blocked field goal for a touchdown, walk-off touchdown to win the game in overtime. Defensive MVP for the game. A lot of superlative Viper performance this night. Justin Moore finished the game with 22 carries, 111 yards, and a rushing touchdown.
When he had to do it, because
the
passing game was not going to be there tonight.
Absolutely. Running into a ferocious Round Rock defense. Lawson Lombard, he had a really masterful performance again tonight, just managing the offense. It's so important to have a leader in that huddle.
No turnovers.
No turnovers. No penalties.
Right.
Yes. Now, wait a minute. Let me back up. We did commit that penalty that where
there was one holding penalty.
There was one holding penalty, but we picked up a 15-yard unsportsmanlike that erased that. So there was that one penalty. But by contrast, the Round Rock Dragons, they committed 6 penalties.
Yeah.
And 4 illegal procedure penalties. So the Vipers didn't make any of those kind of mental mistakes. You win the kicking game again with number 35. Riley Olson having just an absolutely, breathtaking performance. I mean, I can't believe I'm so excited about talking about a performance by a place kicker and punter. But I mean, he makes a huge difference in the outcome of these games with what he adds to the mix. And on defense, Hugo de la Vera Vasquez adding to his sack and TFL total tonight. He had 1 of each. Just a really stellar performance, special moment, absolutely out of breath, and what a football game.
We knew it was going to take something. Maybe not something like that, but we knew it was going to take something. The Vipers are wounded coming in. They're a little hamstrung on offense. But, yeah, you get defensive making 2 goal line stands. You get the field goals from Olsen. You get the running touchdown from Moore, so the offense contributes. Specialty, all 3 aspects of the game contributing not just once but in multiple ways. And at the end result is, a big 23-17 win in overtime. Some scoring updates going on. Back and forth we go. 5:24 to go, fourth quarter. Vista Ridge 38, Westwood 34. So Vista Ridge still on top. 48-45, Hutto barely hanging on to McNeil.
Wow.
So that one looked like it was put away, but the Mavericks refused to go down. So we still got football going on. This thing isn't decided yet.
Man, we don't even know who we're going to play next week yet.
No, we don't. Because that's 35-35 between Dripping Springs and Westlake in the fourth quarter.
A lot of good football in the last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like they did it on purpose a little bit. So everything and
we're just kind of standing by waiting to hear from Brian Spiels. He was looking to talk to Coach Sanders, who I would imagine has a bunch of people wanting to talk to him.
I think I saw Brian Spiels doing a herky over there when Tobias Gray was running in for the touchdown. I think he might have pulled a hamstring.
What a crazy ending.
I mean, again, you special teams, right? I mean, that's a special teams touchdown. So you get, that's just a huge play. You don't expect, how often do you see a blocked field goal return for a touchdown? In regulation, overtime, whatever. It just is.
We almost saw two of them.
Right. Infrequently occurring. We almost saw two.
Yeah.
I know Coach Sanders has talked about his belief and, appreciation for Coach Wolkind, right, Matt, who runs the special teams.
Right.
But, I mean, the Vipers seem to come out on top every week in that category, and it made a huge difference tonight, that's for sure.
23-17, Vipers with the win. So while we're waiting for that to come in, Vandegrift now 7-1, 8-2 in the regular season, but more importantly, 7-1 in district play. Either sole district champion or they will share it with Hutto, depending on how Hutto and McNeil finish up here. Round Rock drops to 5-3. Beyond that, we don't know. We don't know if McNeil's going to come back. We don't know if Vista Ridge is going to come back.
So Vipers are locked.
Hutto
is locked.
Right.
But Round Rock is now kind of at the mercy of how these games hang out now, because they control their destiny if they beat the Vipers. But now they fall back in that 5-3 in district play,
right,
where they could end up easily in a three-way tie or being jumped by if McNeil upsets Hutto.
Right. McNeil beats Hutto,
then
Round Rock's out.
Exactly. So they are now scoreboard watching that game immediately. This is, it can't get any closer to the rest of this playoff race. And I know Vipers are celebrating hard. Sigh of relief putting out this one. They were already locked coming into this game, but to come away with the district title and achieve that first goal of the season. And, as a player, you go back to the offseason, and it is just something that, it's instilled. What's goal number one? It's win a district title. That's step one.
Right.
And then after that, it's, hey, let's play to Thanksgiving. And the next goal is to play in December, and then they go win it, go to that state title. So it's steps, and it's throughout boot camp, it's throughout off season, it's throughout everything these guys do, and that's goal number one. So this team's amped up. Go enjoy this one, celebrate tonight, and then tomorrow you will figure out who their first opponent is, and I know the coaching staff will be right on it with their game plan ready to go.
So I just got to text him, the guy doing the Hutto broadcast. Hutto 45-42, 2:39 left, Hutto at the 8-yard line. So looking like the Hippos with that explosive offense might punch it in, but that one's not over yet.
What a night of Texas football, and Texas high school football in Central Texas specifically. I mean, it was, and then, think about it, Muriel, when you started doing these broadcasts, you think about how the flame or the torch has been passed a bit to the Central Texas region specifically. I mean, we had state champions out of the Austin Centex region,
right?
But there were only two teams that were ever really pushing, they were knocking on that door. It was Lake Travis and Westlake. And, now you're starting to see deeper playoff runs from the teams in Central Texas. Vandegrift won the state championship last year. The competitiveness, of the football has risen along with the population, as I guess you would expect.
Well, Brian was able to catch up with Coach Sanders just a couple minutes ago, so let's get Coach's thoughts on a scintillating Viper win.
Vype Live here with Vandegrift head coach Drew Sanders after a dramatic finish. And, Coach, you are district champions. Congratulations. How's that feel?
That feels really dang good. That's our streak alive, which it definitely was in doubt after we gave up some points and couldn't move the ball. But, what I'm looking at is I'm looking at my guys, and I never see any quit in them. And it's just I can't tell you how proud I am of them. This whole season has been nothing but adversity after adversity, and only people on the inside of the program know this, but it's just been amazing. And the performance by our offense, where we couldn't really move the ball, but we had to sustain drives somehow, some way, and we did that enough. And then the defense just the defense just had to take over. And that's what we did at the end.
Absolutely.
And we said, you know what, we're going to go block the field goal and score. That block, I want to say something real quick. Coach Wilkine is the special teams master. He comes up to me and says, let's talk through. We found something that Hutto did. Mm-hmm. We copied that all week. Hutto blocked one. We copied that all week, and that's what happened. You saw all the success. Brady Cernchek comes to me, the first one we almost get, and Brady Cernchek comes to me and says, hey, I think I can get through. Will you change it a little bit? So we tweaked it just a bit, and then that was the 2 blocks that, changed the game. It totally changed the game. And so it's just, a lot can be accomplished when nobody cares who gets the credit. Correct. I was taught that statement a long time ago, and there's no more team than it's true than this one right here. I can't believe we're district champs because it's just they've been coachable, they've been working their tail off, and then it's just a really nice reward for a team that deserves that. Nobody deserves it more than these guys. Absolutely. We'll enjoy it tonight, and then whoever we're playing, we're ready.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Coach. I don't know. Well said. There's not much else I can say,
Thanks,
but
Brian.
happy for you. Sounds good. Thank you.
There you go. And we talk about it all the time, all the minutia, all the little details, and it always seems to pay off. I don't know of any, I shouldn't say any, I don't know many high school teams that have that level of detail that is executed to perfection all the time, and that made the difference tonight.
Well, you could say this about the Vipers, and a lot of outside observers, will say, the Vipers are lucky. But the thing that Coach Sanders understands, because we've heard him say it before, is that he understands the definition of luck. The definition of luck is when preparation meets opportunity, and the 10,000 little details that go into a high school football program, both on and off the field. He's proven to be quite a masterful head coach and athletic director at Vandegrift. And, the Vipers make their own luck is what we're saying. I mean, you get into a situation. I mean, it's so fascinating to hear him break down that sequence there where the in-game conversation with his player, Brady Cernchek, and then the special team coach, Coach Wolkine. I mean, that's fascinating. I mean, to hear, how the gears fit together and move. So, well done to the entire Vipers coaching staff. Congratulations to the district champions.
Matt, final thoughts?
Already kind of set up for the interview, and I think Coach wrapped it up really well. This is a team that's faced a lot of adversity this year, and that's kind of what teams of old have faced. A lot of just not everything's perfect. The Vipers find a way, and I think that's what they did tonight. Great win, great way to end the regular season. Now you got a big playoff matchup next week that I'm very excited for. I hope, right now I think it's Dripping Spring.
42-35 Drip up.
So that would mean we would play Westlake if that stays that way.
If that stays that way.
But, that game's going back and forth, so we'll see. And I would love to play either of those teams, either a redemption game against Westlake from the game way back when, where they just kind of trounced us at DKR, or revenge this season against Drip. I would love either of those games, and this is a much different team from week one against that Dripping Springs Tiger team. So I'm very excited for this next playoff matchup, and I think the great game overall by the Vipers finding a way to win.
Hot off the presses, Hutto leading McNeil 52-42, under 10 minutes to go on that one. Final, Vista Ridge comes back to defeat Westwood 38-34. So Vandegrift 7-1, Hutto looking like they're going to be 7-1. Round Rock drops to 5-3, McNeil drops to 5-3. Vista Ridge is officially 5-3.
So at this rate how it's going, McNeil's looking like it will be the team out.
Yeah. But both of those games are on Vype. If you want to go check it out, you can check out the McNeil broadcast on Vype. You can check out the Westwood broadcast against Vista Ridge. That one's free. The Vista Ridge one is pay-per-view. But all that matters to Viper fans is they get the win. That's going to do it for us tonight and for the regular season on Vype. Special thanks to Kimberly Lombard and the Vandegrift Football Booster Club and all of our sponsors. We will be back with you next Friday night when the Vipers begin postseason play. Looking like Westlake, we don't know for sure. Keep an eye out for all the details. And remember, all playoff broadcasts have to be pay-per-view on the NFHS network as per UIL rules. Not something we want to do, but that's the way they've got it set up. We'll still post a link as usual on Vype, and it will redirect you to the NFHS site. So keep an eye out for all of that. For my broadcast partners, Hank Hudson and Matt Sanders, Brian Spiels, our sideline reporter, Christina Weber-Bertrand, our QA, Vype Communications Director, and my better half, our technical director, Suna Vincott. My name is Merle Bertrand, signing out from Dragon Stadium, where the Vandegrift Vipers had defeated the Round Rock Dragons in a thrilling overtime, 23-17. They are the district champions. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week for Viper playoff football. Good night, everybody.
You've been watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network. Presented by our Playmaker sponsors, Independence Title, Wayne Weigelt with State Farm, and Chicken Express at 4 Points. Vandegrift Vipers football on Vype Live is also brought to you by our Black Level sponsors, Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and Steiner Ranch Steakhouse. And our White Level sponsors, Amanda Newman Interiors, Austin Dental, Card My Yard, Floor Coverings International, Rudy's Barbecue, Texas Family Physicians, Texas Malibu, and Tiff's Treats. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Vype Live.